Hello, and welcome to the Velveteen Lounge.
Hello, people. We very likely have people watching. It just hasn't kind of triggered
We
in
have
yet.
3 people watching.
We have 3 watching already.
We don't know who you are yet.
Recall, as always, if you don't comment, I probably don't know you're there, and I don't know who you are. So feel free to just drop in, say hi. You don't have to be yakking all night. Just like a little hi is great.
But you can if
it's
you
great.
want.
You know, I had somebody within the past week actually say, oh, I never comment. I'm like, I can't tell you there. You know.
And I want to remember to say hi to the people who are watching later.
Woohoo!
So if you're joining us after this broadcast, welcome.
You know, that's a very important thing.
Hi, Eric.
Hey!
Good to see you.
First out of the gate, sir.
And Keith,
hey,
hello.
Keith.
Good to see you.
Hey, yeah.
All right.
Boom, boom. Here
People
comes
are saying
the stuff.
hi.
Here comes the son and also the father. So here we go.
There
Wonderful.
goes the... Oh, never mind.
Well, actually, there went the sun. It's pretty dark here right now. But
went the
it was
sun.
pretty nice today, I would say. You know, it's one of those days where you're like, this could be pretty clammy. But then it just kind of, it took the chill off as soon as we got out there. It's lovely. Lovely
DVDs.
stuff.
It was beautiful when they went to the supermarket.
Yes.
Kind of warm, actually.
Actually. So that's the important thing, and feel free to drop us anything you got going in here. If you have some sort of project that has something to do with Beatles or otherwise, we're not really talking.
Hi, Julie.
Beatles today, are we? I mean, I know I'm looking at them right.
We're talking Bee Gees.
We're actually
Peter
talking
Frampton.
when some producer decides he's got this brilliant
Hi,
idea.
Satellite.
Let's actually take the whole Beatles catalog, which is now available at my fingertips, and let's do a whole musical movie and just hire all sorts of random people. And if you're thinking, and they spend a ton of money on it, and bags of cocaine and everything. I got that off of IMDb.
Ooh.
Then you're thinking to yourself, this sounds like a train wreck.
Eric just got a sudden gust of
think
wind
so.
and rain
Rain
droplets.
droplets. Well, there we go.
All right. Well,
Ours, we got that all yesterday. It all kind of passed through yesterday and the day before. It was.
did it?
in fact,
I don't
was it-
remember that.
Was Tuesday?
I
in
don't remember
particular?
yesterday.
Monday or Tuesday,
Oh.
it was like I go into work and it's like, whoa, man, so much for early spring, blah blah blah. No, it was raw.
So
likely to happen.
Sergeant Pepper's.
So
We watched it again the other night.
you watched
Oh
it.
boy.
You watched it again.
Oh, that's
I
true.
saw it
He'd
for the-
never seen it.
I saw it for the first
He'd
time
never seen it.
ever.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah, he'd never seen it before. So, what'd you think?
I got to tell you, you actually were telling me you saw it on a double bill with Grease.
With Grease, yes.
So that's just about exactly right. Both Stigwood productions would have been done around the same time. That would have made a pretty fantastic double bill. And
Was
you're
Grease Stigwood? Hi, Bill.
pretty
and
sure-
hi, Jennifer. Good to see you
pretty
both.
sure that he produced that. I know
Really?
that
I'm gonna look it up because I thought that was like Randall Kleiser.
he might have directed it.
Oh,
'Cause
maybe.
I know we know who didn't direct it, and then
All right, you know what? I'm looking.
Alan
I'm
Carr
just
had
gonna
something
find
to
out.
do with this thing.
Let's not wonder.
Let's not, shall we?
It took 3 people to write it. Well,
Randall
actually,
Kleiser.
it was directed by Randall Kleiser. That's what I'm thinking.
Uh,
Okay, yeah, it was.
Jason Casey wrote the
It
music
was
for
a
the
Broadway
stage
show before it was a movie.
legitimate show.
So okay, I gotta find the producers.
Yeah, I got to scroll back to
Of Grease. Yeah, no, we
hit it.
want to go to all cast and crew. Hold on.
Yeah, we go.
It's
Gonna hit it. These things can be very slow,
all cast and crew. Here we go. All right.
Writing
I
credits
need to scroll by the cast of thousands. Hold on.
produced by
Alan Carr. Oh, and Robert Stigwood.
and Robert Stigwood.
That's what I was thinking of.
Hello.
Alan Carr.
Yeah, I was thinking too. Didn't
Okay.
we see an episode?
Hi, Mom.
Did we see an episode of Charlie's Angels
And
recently?
hi, Alex. Good to see you.
With Alan Carr, and he's there in a caftan. You're like, oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Exactly what the hell was
Yeah.
wrong with Hollywood at the time. What was wrong
Yeah,
with
Julie
Hollywood?
says,
This
I
movie.
forgot so much about it. Me too. Me too.
Hello, Alexander, if you haven't said so.
I did, yes, but
Hello twice.
hello,
So-
everyone.
so there you
Yeah,
go.
I see you all here. I think
there you
I've
go.
caught up. Oh yeah, Julie watched it the other day. Good for you.
You see the comment
So
from
did we.
this one right there?
But you saw it at the Mesa Theater. You know, I saw it. It was up by South Coast Plaza.
One of those.
I remember that. It was up by South Coast Plaza. Hi, Dime.
Hello, Dime. Hello.
And hi, Mike. Good to see you.
There we go.
Captain and Tennille. And hi, Ryan.
I have some good hat jokes for you. No, I don't. I really don't. I'm not going to tell
Oh
anyone.
no, I know. Oh,
But
that's
if
the
you have any
hat,
good hat
yeah,
jokes,
the
drop them
hat.
right here, people. Right there in the
I'm,
comments.
you know,
You
I
how to do
almost
it.
put on Captain and Tennille. I
Yeah,
always have
that
to have
would've been-
something playing on the TV while we do this
That would have been
because
appropriate.
otherwise it's just this giant black hole on the other side of the room. It drives
Yeah.
me crazy. So,
So,
in,
anyway.
in honor of Robert Stigwood, we have Staying Alive playing.
This is
But
entirely
Captain and
appropriate.
Tennille would have been a good choice.
That would have been an excellent choice.
And we have the
Actually,
box set.
We do have the box set.
So,
And I'll comment just as a side comment about that show. Watched that at the time on the air, and it actually seemed like a lot of fun. And had terrible, terrible skits and everything. And apparently, halfway through the season, the actual host and hostess are like, "Yeah, we're going to change the format." And
has
they just-
Ellen seen it?
they suddenly go to something that's just like a music show with their guests, and it becomes a lot more.
I just
rational.
want to point out, Eric said California seems to get rain at the wrong times. Yeah, it seems like lately,
Oh, wow.
right?
Yeah, seriously. Drought, floods.
Mom says, has
For Pete's
Ellen
sake.
seen it or is she still waiting? She's still waiting.
Still waiting. She will be waiting, and then you know what she's going to do?
Until the sequel.
She's going to wait some more
Exactly.
until the sequel.
The sequel. Find some other place for her to wait.
Sort of thing. Anyway, the reason that I am in this getup, which makes me think I'm about to play bass at a Jimmy Buffett concert, is that I don't own anything vaguely Pepper-esque. I don't own any of these like, bogus military
you have a
uniforms, or
Beatles
even a
button,
real.
though.
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, hello, I'm a Beatles fan, and I don't own any bogus
Olsen.
military paraphernalia. Although I have my dad's Eisenhower jacket, and it fits just great, which is funny because he was a much bigger guy than I am. Anyhow, I didn't have I didn't have a sergeant hat. I didn't have any of this jazz. I don't have a funny trumpet. I have a bugle up there somewhere, but we don't have any of this. So I'm like, what the hell have I got that's just garish, loud, inappropriate, and out of place, much like this motion picture? Bang! Here we go. This is a shirt that I think we actually like shocked somebody in San Francisco once with this thing, and I'm like, really?
I should've-
Okay.
I feel like I should have worn satin, except it would be way too hot in here.
Oh,
and
forget
that,
it.
So
I'm feeling.
whatever.
I feel like cracking that door is kind
After a while, Ellen will not be generous. My dad joked for the night. Waiting at Coney Island. Yeah.
She will.
Yes. Hi, Marty.
Hey, Marty.
Yes, our film, Ellen Waits, got into a film festival.
Will
I'm so
be
excited.
playing Coney Island
Coney
Film
Island
Festival,
Film Festival. I'm
which
so
is
excited.
May 25,
Oh, Mike, thank you.
6.
Thank you.
What are the dates on?
It's the festival is May 5th through 7th.
Okay, I guess that was 20 days off.
And
5 through 7, May 5.
We don't know yet where we are.
Who knows where the hell
in
we are
the
in that,
order,
that pecking
so-
order? But if you are
Oh,
in the
Peter
area,
likes your shirt.
hey. Oh, thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, no question. I was just thinking about the obnoxious effect on the eyes of this sort of hobo outfit going on here. Hobo shirt, rather. And it actually has some, like, great... I think it's on the back, on the yoke of the shirt, there's, like, some orange crate art, which is kind of
It's
fun.
like, yeah, Malibu.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. So this is obviously put together out of scraps and pieces, and it's rayon, so it's
Thank
actually
you, Dime.
quite a nice fabric to be wearing during a broadcast, especially when it's warm. Dime actually sent us a zip file, which we cracked open and took a look, and contains
Took a listen.
contains Sergeant Pepper from unknown, perhaps not entirely legitimate sources. Lots of outtakes. We were listening to some of that before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
big
you,
fun.
Dime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's really cool. When I was somewhere around 12 years old, I would have been like, "Oh wow, man!" But now I'm just listening, saying there's some cool stuff in there. It's I like hearing like the outtake stuff or like the tracking for Day in the Life, where they're counting down how long they have to have that orchestral bit go, and you can hear the engineer. I don't know whether it's Jeff or George, who's just like saying that. So it's kind of fun.
Hi, Ken. Had fun.
Platinum return.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. That's
So
hilarious.
previously
Okay.
this evening, Kelly was actually saying, "We have the soundtrack, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think we do." I go up there, "No, we don't." I'm like, "Oh, damn!" But you know what we do have? So here's the genuine article. This one, in fact, if you look very carefully at the top of the record, is monaural. We have some Bee Gees over there, and that's the cover that I thought that actually looked the most in concert with the movie. So I threw that in. And
Get
then-
it? Concert.
Oh, hello. And then what the hell is this business over here? This is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the movie, as performed by Abbey Road 78. This is one of those, they got a studio band to cover the
Sounds
Bee Gees
like-
covering the Beatles. This is 3 times removed, and it's absolutely nuts. We found that years ago. Great shape. Absolutely great shape. And we actually, I don't think I've ever spun it, so I put it
make
on.
a
I'm like,
drink.
You know, it's pretty good. You know, I can really appreciate complete schlock performances like that today. So, also available on cassette and 8-track tape.
Oh yes,
So,
Dime. Thank you again. So
Oh, yeah,
okay,
that's great.
so I'm gonna make a drink.
yeah, the Peppers was on Casablanca, and that label was really notorious for shipping a lot of records so that they could say, "Hey, we got a platinum record." You know,
I added some
you know, there's a million of them
edible
out there.
edible glitter to my shaker. Do you?
Yeah,
But
it's a good way to go.
but I did that. I don't know what it's gonna look like once we're done.
So
but
this drink number one is you're calling.
I'm calling it "Get Back, Strawberry Fields"
That's a full sentence, isn't it?
because, you know, I hate to give any spoilers for this
If you haven't seen the movie.
cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah,
but
you know, I hate,
at
hate to
one
ruin
point-
it for you.
At one point, Strawberry dies,
Oh.
but then
Yeah.
Billy Preston brings her back to life. What was his character's name? Did he have a character name?
This is not made explicit in the
He
picture
sings
at all.
"Get Back" and then she like points at her and she comes back to life.
Not explicit within this picture
So-
at all, but he was playing Sergeant Pepper. So I'm like, you mean the
Oh.
spirit of the guy who originally was Pepper, like in the World War One era, who
Okay.
dies in the 50s? The actual plot line of this is not to
All
be
right, well, I can-
mentioned in public, polite company anyway. And so he was apparently playing Pepper, and he had the horn.
Hi, Vindicator. Oh
And it
yeah,
was-
that I love this.
He
for-
was flying around and zapping
It's a good
everybody.
choice.
Like, you know, he zaps Strawberry back to life. and
Satellite listening.
he zaps Billy from jumping off the cliff there. So it's like he's this magical
Yeah.
character. And it is
Or-
no
I
more
think it was a building, but he.
no more
point.
or less moronic than the rest of the picture. So you're like, yeah, sure, what the hell? You know? Really, really cheap special
So-
effects. You know, Sid and Marty be proud. And they had nothing to do with this.
So, Get Back, Strawberry Fields. I added 2 ounces of my El Dorado 5-year rum. You could use a different amber rum. Wow,
Pretty strawberry?
this is okay.
Pretty obnoxious.
Our
Good.
strawberry liqueur kind of lost flavor,
So
so I picked up this strawberry syrup that I'm going to use, and it's a good one. No HFCS.
yeah, it's all natural
So-
flavors, etc.
I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of my strawberry syrup.
You made strawberry liqueur at one point. That
I
was
did.
so awesome. It was
Oh,
fantastic.
hi,
fantastic
William
flavor.
Moffat.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Ah, Vindicator.
Okay, so
Excellent.
1/2 ounce of that, and then I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of my Giffard Pêche
The
Divine.
Piche Divine. That's peaches from the vine to you.
It might have been better if it was Sid and Marty.
You know, Sid and Marty at the time were providing effects for
1/4 ounce of this.
you know the what is it? Future villain band within the
Yes.
movie, as played by Aerosmith, who actually got a top 40 hit out of their cover
I like their
of
cover.
Come Together. Yeah, it's actually
I actually like their cover.
it's
of
pretty
that.
straight up, but it sounds like Aerosmith. You know, it's pretty rocking. And they were like made like number 23 or something with that. I think that was reading
So.
that. So that I remember hearing it at the time. It got some airplay.
Okay, so
But the first band to be approached for that role was Kiss, who turned it down so that they could do Meets the Phantom of the Park, featuring Anthony Zerbe, and with effects by Sid and Marty. So there you go. You know, they turned down something that sounded cheesy to do something that was a complete atrocity.
okay, so 2 ounces of your El Dorado 5 or
Hmm.
whichever amber rum you're using.
Yeah.
1/2 ounce. I would do strawberry liqueur, but you know
You did
you
strawberry.
heard
You did Strawberry Field
you
instead.
heard the bad news about the strawberry liqueur.
Well,
A
you know.
1/4 ounce peach liqueur. I used Giffard. 3/4 ounce fresh lemon juice, and I'm going to do 3 dashes of Hella Mexican chocolate bitters. I'm going to not get them on the computer this time. And a dash of Hella ginger bitters.
Chocolate and ginger. Now you're talking.
Yes.
100% true, Eric. You can never tell. When I was younger, this thing just looked like the biggest damned thing ever to fall off the back of a truck. And I was a Beatles fan, so I was like, forget this. My sister saw it, and she liked it enough to get the soundtrack album. I believe that she still has the soundtrack album. And it's like, you know,
The soundtrack album you thought we
really,
had.
really could have used that. You know, I should have called her. Can you drive down? I'll meet you halfway. You
Nah.
know? Anyway, but if she doesn't have it, who knows? I suspect.
Yes, please.
But you know, in this day and age, I see something that
you.
just looks like, good grief, why the hell did you make that? And say, oh, put it on. Let's see what we got. And honestly, I'm watching this thing saying, I would have hated it when I was 10, but today I was seeing some really good musical
How can you
performances.
eat jamming on some Judas Priest? Because we'll get a copyright infringement if we do.
Yes,
From you, like YouTube and Facebook will shut us down.
will be shut down.
Ooh, look at that though! It is sparkly.
Hello, we'll be shut down with prejudice. That's as sparkly as the diamond's eyes.
Look at it! It's
telling you.
sparkly. I don't know if you can tell, but it's sparkling from the
It is
glitter.
pretty sparkly. Hello. The Village People movie we do own, I believe, on DVD.
Can't stop
By
the
now.
music. Oh, that's a good one. Hi, Jeremy.
And that one
Oh, we should do Can't Stop the
is
Music.
a different type of train wreck, but thoroughly entertaining.
Too like
Gotta
Judas
say.
Priest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
We perform some Priest
We do.
as the Velvetones, as a matter of
We
fact.
do live in After Midnight.
Which is amazing. I'll say so myself. It's a lot of fun. It's impossible amount of fun to play those chords on organ, I gotta say. So,
Okay, so get back, Strawberry Fields.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, I'm happy with that. Favorite Priest
Bingo.
tune?
oh yeah.
I'm sure you have opinions.
Kind of partial to Grinder. I knew a guy in college who was always like singing Grinder. It was just like so
Ken,
absurd.
Ken, were you there for that?
So absurd. That was rich. And I'm trying to think of like what else. Honestly, probably Living After Midnight. That's like such a happy damn
Well,
song.
Peter saw Can't Stop the Music
it's all
on
major
HBO.
chords, Boom.
We do have that record. So.
We have the album, the 8-track tape, and the DVD, so we can watch it anytime. Big fun, big fun. Can't stop, people. You can't stop
There was
quality.
something I meant to say. Oh, Ken says yes.
And wasn't that Steve Guttenberg, I believe, probably his breakout role? And you're like, oh boy. And as I recall, I think there was a big product placement for Dr. Pepper in Can't Stop the Music. What was the product placement
Remember.
in Sergeant
Shake.
Pepper? There was a lot of
Dude
product
Shake.
placement that I'm trying to remember.
Oh, there was too.
Yeah. It wasn't like Coca-Cola products, was it? No, it was something else. They did get some placement in there.
Camelot. The song is abandoned. You will love it. Okay.
Okay, we'll
We'll
check
take
it
a
out.
screenshot,
Yeah.
Thomas.
Well, these comments are preserved, and I can always take a look down there. But we'll just grab a shot,
Screenshot.
and we'll take a look. Boom, done.
Call Long Island Rock Station to request Grinder. Ah!
I wonder if WDRE was playing that back at the time. They were like, "No, we're a new wave station." You know.
What about the Disco Bee Gees in '70? It was sacrilege in my teenage mind. Well, I thought that might be what he thought too. But
Oh yeah, no, I was.
Yeah.
I was what have I been like 11?
I
at the
loved
time.
it. But of course, like
And I was like, oh,
I
this
loved
is-
everything when I was.
Any covers,
almost.
any covers at the time just seemed like garbage. Why would you bother? These days, I seek out covers with a vengeance. I'm like, who covered that?
Grinder. Look
What
at
do they
the
do?
cheese.
You know. And the thing about a lot of the songs in the movie is that they just take the original arrangement straight, and there's not a lot of point to hearing other bands play music if it's not going to sound different.
Peter
But a
says.
couple of them are really quite different.
Peter
Yeah.
says my favorite Priest song would be Exciter.
Exciter.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who is on which platforms, so I don't know which comments you're seeing and which ones you're not. But
That's Facebook and that's YouTube.
oh, there. Okay.
Yep, there you go.
All right.
So Peter's on the face.
So yeah, okay. So
There we go.
Vindicators on YouTube and Peter's on Facebook. All right.
I believe Ken's favorite Priest would be Love Bites. I could be wrong, but I believe that.
All right. So we're all right.
But that's
all right.
Priest.
So you guys, you people. Well, some of you are seeing each other's comments. Anyway.
Yeah. If you're on Facebook, you're
You know what
seeing.
I mean.
We're seeing them both simultaneously.
Yes, they're just all coming in
So
order
in
here.
one because
so,
our new
yeah.
setup here, this with StreamYard actually just grabs them all and says, "Here you go, boom, done."
Which I kind of love.
I kind
but-
of love not having to switch back and forth and losing things.
Oh, okay, Peter.
I'm seeing everything.
Thomas, I'm taking another screenshot here.
Excellent. There we go.
Okay. Got
Very
it.
good. Very good.
Got it. Okay.
Priest.
Would you like to make a
Priest. Sabbath. Led Zepp. So I would like to make a
soundtrack of
line.
my life? Priest victims and changes. Oh my gosh.
In the dead of night, when the lightning strikes. I'm not sure that's Priest. Come to think of it, it's just one of those groups. There were a lot of groups around at that time, and that
Moxie.
sort of British new metal era, which also brought us bands such as Motorhead, whom I have a lot more Motorhead out there than Priest, and I tend to listen to them a little more. But there's that Lemmy thing. That's a different
You
broadcast.
sent me a Motorhead. You like
The icon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy.
Just like
Snaggletooth. The icon
yeah,
is
just
called
like as a
Snaggletooth.
yeah, but just as a text the other day. I forget why.
Bingo. It was in response. I said let's motor, as in I was getting.
Oh no, I
was getting
got
on a
it. I
train.
got it. I just forgot what
Yep.
you were.
And I said let's motor with an umlaut over the second O. There you go.
Sail on, sail away. Oh, hi, John. Good to see you.
Hey, John. Awesome. Oh, this is
Yeah,
fun.
it's so wild with boats, trains running.
Oh, you
I
gotta
know,
go?
It is. It
So
is.
cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Totally.
So freaking awesome. Got to tell you. John sent us some fun things recently. It's no longer behind me, but we have some spam paraphernalia.
Yes,
that
thank
I have been using
you.
that daily as my daily coffee driver. So in the afternoon, well, actually after
know.
breakfast, we usually make the potto, and then by that point, my stomach can
Rockabilly
take it.
Lemmy.
So, but definitely, and also the apron, because I lost my apron at Ohana some years back, and I remember going up to the desk and asking, like, no, it wasn't turned in. I'm like, who the hell? It was thrown away.
that headset.
You know, it was just
I know
thrown
what
away.
you meant.
Yeah, but definitely. So again, I got nothing in the way of uniforms, nothing in military paraphernalia that looked like vaguely appropriate. But I do have a Jimmy Buffett shirt and hat. Hello, so we can do that. And it's a captain's hat. If I can't be a sergeant, I can be a captain. So big fun. Pepper, as the movie, is such a glorious train wreck that you're like, good grief, how do I celebrate this in a drink? And I thought, how about a glorious train wreck of a drink? So here's something that was apparently lost in the mists of time, and it's from a book. Did I stick it over here?
Ken says Motorhead's "Sympathy for the Devil" is best old school rock cover ever.
Oh wow! I was kind of thinking the cover of that by Blood, Sweat, and Tears, where they do it as a suite: "Symphony for the Devil," "Sympathy for the Devil." I think there's 3 or 4 other parts in there. Slightly pretentious, but I really do like those guys, and I like that version because it's kind of silly. They do great covers. They're one of the better cover bands out there. "Smiling Phases," the Traffic song. Yeah, you want to throw on BS&T.
It's definitely my drink.
Yeah, because it's so good. I should have had you
And I'm not
make
gonna-
one.
I know, and I'm not going to have any of his drink, probably.
You're probably not.
I'll
This is
have
so
a
true.
sip.
This is so true. But anyway, let me get a shaker. Elevator down.
I predict his drink is going to be horrible. But he didn't create it, so I don't feel bad saying that.
Elevator up. This drink is credited to, I believe, J.P. Morgan or John Astor, one of these people. And I'm thinking...
Oh, thanks for the links,
It's
Thomas.
actually highly unlikely that this person invented the drink or enjoyed the drink back in the day. So we're going to probably calling BS on that. But it is one of these things that appeared in a couple of random drink books. I found it in a few, or after I actually had turned it up. You know, I'm going to get this iceberg. Speaking of John Astor, I'm going to get this iceberg over here.
Oh, you
man.
went there.
Yeah, I kind of did go there.
It's almost Titanic time, you guys.
Typical American iceberg, huh? So
April.
Yeah, April 14, am I right?
Right,
12?
it's in that week, yeah.
Somewhere in that
Yep.
range, yeah. 1912, there we go. So it was credited to him. I found it in a book originally called Vintage Spirits and Forgotten Cocktails. Highly entertaining volume. It's sort of like this binder style thing, so you can lay it flat, which is very nice for the drink
Handy.
books. Great stories, great pictures. Got a lot of vintage bottles of hooch in there to demonstrate what you're putting in this drink. And this one was simply titled, who knows who this is actually credited to, called the Alamaguzlum. It's an absolutely ridiculous name for a completely blown out cocktail.
I just got a chill up my
that
spine
you think,
thinking about it.
What the hell and why the hell? Who did this? Anyway, but I remember that I wanted to try it and we didn't have all the ingredients. So I actually got the ingredients over time. It involves Genever, gin, which is the Dutch gin, and also involved yellow or green chartreuse. And we had like a sampler bottle, one of those little airplane bottles of the green chartreuse years ago. I remember thinking, hey, I kind of like this stuff. It's very high proof and it's very herbal, and I thought it was kind of cool. And didn't get a bottle. It's expensive too. It's like 60, 65 a bottle most places. So finally one year we're in New Hampshire, we got a good price on it. I'm like, all right,
we had a gift card.
Stayed at a liquor store, had a gift card, grabbed a bottle, took it home, cracked it. I'm like, I don't really like this stuff that much. And she just hated it. So I'm like,
that's why I'm like, I'm going to hate this drink.
Have
because
a very expensive bottle of herbal liqueur that's going to sit there for a long time. So every once in a while, I got to crack it out and do something with it, and let's do something with it.
Ken says, I like my cocktail and my classic rock. Lots of buzz.
And the Dead of Night Love Bites. So let's see. We've got, we're starting with the Genever. This
Roswell
is the
incident.
Bowles Genever. This is a gin And it's kind of malty tasting. It's interesting.
Do you remember when the Roswell incident took place?
1947.
Okay, so it was so it would have also been April. Yeah, it would have been like 35 years later, but yeah, but was that also in April?
Wait a minute. Was the Titanic actually sunk by UFO? I'm just saying. Just asking. Let's see what else goes in this blasted thing here.
No.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Bada.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. Let me grab a few ingredients and go back and forth. Ounce of water. I got to get an ounce of water.
I got this.
Okay. And grab me the dark Jamaican, please.
Okay. I have it right here.
You have that?
I do.
Right. I'm going to
It's ready for you.
I'm going to get the water.
Okay, you go get the water. I thought we had everything over here this time. I really did, but no. Yeah, okay, so Roswell. Apparently, I want to go to Roswell because apparently it's like really fun. They just lean into the whole Roswell incident.
Oh, they do. You know, look, if you're talking
47,
a pretty remote part of New Mexico, I believe, and you know, there's not much else happening in Roswell. And the only thing that was happening there at the time was they were proximate to an Air Force base. And the only thing that was really remarkable about that at the time is that that was the only Air Force base in the States, in the world, that had an atomic bomber wing. So this is the big deal about this at the time happening is like, you know, there was a military cover-up. It's like, this was nuclear secrets. Of course there was a cover-up.
April 15th for the Titanic.
Titanic, got it. I will take that, that.
Iceberg. Oh, wait.
Typical American iceberg, eh? Yeah, UFO. Oh, speaking of UFO, the television show, now you're talking. Bam, bam, bam.
Oh, John says, I saw a photo of Goddard of rockets, and he was researching near Roswell for liquid rockets. Okay.
Yeah, he actually, he had some kind of like
UFO
respiratory condition, because he was originally doing his research in Massachusetts, and he had some kind of respiratory condition, and his doctor was like, go to the desert. So he moved the whole operation to New Mexico, and that's why you had all the missile firing range out there as he was doing the research. He did that in like the 40s, and I think he either died like during the war or before he could like, you know, really be credited with all his contributions. But he did a lot of the groundwork for stabilizing rocket travel, which got completely copied by the Germans, who made successful like military rocket weapons.
I just want to point out that in hindsight, this should have a strawberry garnish.
Oh, true.
I didn't even think about it, but it should.
Chartreuse and gum. Okay, second, I'll take the chartreuse, please. This is complicated, kind of stupidly complicated.
Oh, look, we still have most of a bottle.
Look at that, I'm telling you. This involves a huge hit of chartreuse, so if you really don't like this stuff, you are not going to like this thing. I can take it. That's not my favorite thing. It's got an odd flavor to it, and I'm thinking, did we just get the batch where it was slightly off? Because I recall this being very herbal in a sort of a Benedictine way, which I like.
I'm fine with Benedictine.
Benedictine is just like, you know, very heavy concentration of herbs that's sort of like a digestive stuff, which is what this is designed to be. This is from a period where a lot of medicines were like throw everything in the kitchen sink at it, and you've got something that has all these great little essences. You know, it's a very alchemist style thing. And then you distill everything to get the essence out of it. And the last thing we need for the bases is some gum syrup. We happen to have actual gum syrup, because I made it. It says gum syrup. This actually is just sugar syrup with some gum arabic added. The arabic is there as an emulsifier. This is a huge hit of the gum syrup. Original formula for this is twice as much of everything.
Oh.
And it makes a huge mess that you pour into like 3 cocktail glasses. Well,
okay.
I'm not drinking 3 of these
right.
tonight or any other time. So what we're going to do is
what you
put that away. It looks like I need more gum. So
clear your sinuses out. Oh,
yeah, I think
probably.
It would. Yeah, I think it would. All right, so the next thing we
need
need is a 1/4 ounce of Curacao, 1/4 ounce of Ango. Here we go. Take the Curacao, and we're going to find my 1/2 ounce measure and very carefully pour a 1/4. That's about right. Okay. And I'll take those bitters. Big hit of Ango, which should actually balance out all the rest of this stuff.
That bottle is so sticky. Do you have any spray? Did you bring it over?
I forgot to spray.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, we'll have to get it. Okay, so I'm just going to shake
it will clear and lay you out. That's what I'm afraid of, Jeremy. I'm going to go get the spray.
You do, Sibu.
I'm
I'm actually going to take a hit of this myself. Good digestive, you know. The bitters, the large bottle bitters, like the Underberg, those are used as a digestive. After a heavy meal, you slug one of those down. Give the stomach something to work on.
Hi, Mike.
Okay, what else goes in this mess? Is that it? Did I kill it? Okay, an ounce of Geneva, an ounce of water, 3/4 ounce dark Jamaican rum, 3/4 ounce chartreuse. I use green. You can use yellow. 3/4 ounce gum syrup or gum
You forgot
syrup.
the egg white.
1/4 ounce orange curacao, 1/4 ounce Angostura bitters, half of an egg white. Well, shake with ice, strain into a cocktail glass. Well, nobody out there is going to split an egg white in half. That's not going to happen. But I had that carton of egg whites.
I was going to say.
So
we
that's
have. Wait, Mike says, my house was built
about
in
right.
the 50s and the owner worked for the military. Rumor has it a bomb shelter is under my patio. We saw a house
Well.
that had just an intact bomb shelter. It was so great.
That was pretty cool. It was actually like a fallout shelter, literally.
It was, yeah.
So under your patio, huh? It's time for some ground penetrating radar to determine this.
Oh my gosh.
The instructions to this thing say shake like hell. So let's do that.
I'm so scared of
Hey,
it.
for one thing, this thing doesn't have to leak so damn much. Thank you.
Doesn't have a good seal.
Doesn't have a good seal.
Oh, I don't know if I know that one, Dime.
Orbs.
The Orbs cover of the Doctor Who thing. Oh. Oh, okay, so Ryan's a fan.
There we go. Excellent. Got everybody on the same page. One of the reasons to really shake your booty is because this has the egg white. You need to whip that egg white up because it's going to provide that sort of foamy layer top of the drink.
You could do this in a blender too.
Okay, once this thing is just completely frosting up, you're about done. I'm not going to shake that like a Ramos Gin Fizz, which Legendary shakes for like 15 minutes. You don't need 15 minutes. About 3 is fine. And that's a lot. That's a lot. Grabbing a cocktail glass, shall we? And
All right. I'll
bust
try a
the seal.
sip.
Huh. Oh, now the seal is too much.
I'll hold this.
You know, I'm going to step out of camera for a second.
I'm going to go pound this against a door or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Woo, stuck.
Now we can't get it off.
Swear to God.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll see what he uses to get the glass off the shaker tin. Mm-hmm. What are you using? I feel like you should do it over here so that other people can learn from. Oh God! All right, he just basically beat on it with a wooden
Stick. Found a stick.
Hi, Ellen. Good to see you.
Pour into a cocktail glass.
Not waiting for the drink. Oh boy, that's not what I expected.
Yeah, the color is quite different. I think the dark rum is really pushing that. Dark rum, Geneva, not two ingredients that I would think of throwing together. There's a little water in there, I guess, because everything else is kind of high proof, and then maybe they're trying to take it down. And I think I just shook a lot of water into there via ice melt, so I don't really see the point of that. Letting it settle to see if we do get that foamy layer, it's kind of getting in there. The second one of these you pour should have that. And it tastes like this. Well, do you want to actually try this?
Yes.
All right, then you got to try this.
It doesn't smell too bad.
Yeah, it doesn't smell too bad.
Oh, God, that's awful.
Yeah, too much of the chartreuse, I tell you.
Oh, Ryan says, speaking of fallout shelters, I first came across Velveteen Lunch Kitchen during a night of watching A-Bomb test
Hello.
footage. I love that. I
Isn't that
love
marvelous?
that. Yay.
You have been to the Atomic Testing Museum near Las Vegas? Isn't that where that is? Or in Las Vegas? Where was that?
Yep, that's where we went.
Yeah, it was. That's a really great museum. If you haven't been, it's worth the time. And they actually do a simulated test in a theater, which really will take you aback.
Oh, YouTube suggested Bombed in the Shelter.
Hello.
I love it.
Oh, marvelous. Well, Bombed is a classic episode that's going to take you back, over 10 years.
Oh, do we make the
So-
drinks on the drink shaker? We haven't followed the recipes for a long time. We make the drinks, yeah, because they'll have like martini
Oh,
and
this sort of business?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've done these.
I don't follow those proportions, but
I probably don't. Like this, Manhattan, an ounce of sweet vermouth, 2 ounces of whiskey. Why do I have whiskey? Oh, wait, no, 2 to 1, okay. 2 ounces of whiskey, ounce of sweet, 2 dashes bitter, stir with ice, add cherry. 2 to 1 Manhattan, reasonable. I would make it a little drier.
Yep,
I
would
would
too.
use a combination of dry and
Oh,
sweet.
Ellen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, bump in the
Let's
shoulder.
see. Gibson, ounce of dry vermouth, 2 ounces of gin. That's way too much vermouth for me. If you cut that in half,
but we
talking.
do make the drinks.
Twist a lemon peel, stir with ice, add cocktail onion. That's a Gibson, yes. Martini, ounce dry vermouth, 2 ounces gin.
What do
Twist a
they
lemon
say for
peel,
whiskey sour?
stir with
I'm
ice,
scared.
add olive. Whiskey sour, 3/4 ounce lemon juice, half teaspoon of sugar, reasonable.
Okay.
Shot of whiskey, reasonable. Shake fine ice, add slice of orange. Yeah, that works.
Wait. 1.5 ounces of whiskey and 3/4 of an ounce of lemon.
Lemon juice.
I feel like that's a lot of lemon juice for that.
Half a teaspoon of sugar, though.
No, I know. I just feel like that's a lot of lemon.
It's
I would
gonna be-
probably dial back the lemon
It's
slightly.
going to be pretty tart, but I would try that and then I might adjust it. Honestly, I would probably do 2 ounces whiskey, half ounce lemon juice. So,
Are you gonna?
So yeah.
Are you gonna finish that?
Oh, I don't know that.
You gave it a sincere effort. You really did.
Well, put it this
you
way.
went into it with an
I
open
might
heart.
try to improve it because I got a drink in front of me and I'm not
God.
about to go whipping up
It's
some other
really
monstrosity
bad.
here. This is this crazy ass amount of ingredients thrown together in one shaker, and you think, who the hell did this? The book I got this from claims it's some sort of amazing thing. I'm like,
Oh my
you
God.
really got to like the liqueur.
My mom says your dad sold fallout shelters in the mid-50s. Didn't actually sell any.
Oh,
So I guess technically he tried to sell
yeah,
fallout
attempted selling fallout
shelters.
shelters. He was a fallout
I
shelter.
never knew that. That's so weird.
He was a fallout shelter salesman, shall we say? Yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Could
Didn't
you do me a
actually sell any.
favor? Retrieve for me the Benedictine. I'm going to try to improve this by putting in another
Oh, Jeremy,
ingredient
that's a
that
great
might help
idea.
it. So,
What do you need?
the Benedictine.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to try to improve this
Pardon
by
me.
putting in a different ingredient, different
Do you really
herbal.
think it needs more herbal stuff?
I just want to offset the thing. If we had any Amari, I might try that, but I'd want something like Chinar. That might actually help. What do you got?
How about the Grand Poppy?
No, I don't think that's going to help. That flavor profile is definitely tilted in a different direction.
Okay, hold
Adding
on.
about a 1/4 ounce of the, what do you got?
I gotta keep looking.
Okay.
All right. I was gonna say definitely add some lemon to that.
Yeah, it's really not a bad idea. It's got no sour whatsoever. And that's kind of like kicking the sweet without kicking any of the rest. It's not uncommon for a very old
Campari?
cocktail formula to have none. No, I didn't think Campari. I was thinking something like very closer to like Bitter's Bitter.
I don't see any Chinar.
Yeah. Oh, yep, we're out. Clumsy I am. Haven't had enough of this to actually be that kind of clumsy.
Let's see.
That helps.
What else do we have?
That helps. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to add some lemon as indicated, and we'll see if this even passes your muster. I doubt it, but couldn't hurt.
We have the Bokers.
I'm good. No, I was thinking something more of like
Okay.
an Amaro, not a bitters, because it already has a big
I
shot
tried.
of bitters. It has a really big shot of bitters in it. So
You guys gonna abuse your taste buds again? He is. Actually, I might
Yeah.
try it to see if
yeah,
it's
you know
better.
what? So
I
you
might
don't
try
have
it,
to.
but
And in this case, I'm saving you from buying a $65 bottle of
Like,
hooch.
didn't feel like I had to anyway. But
$65 of herbal liqueur that you might not even like.
oh, you see, Mike, I would totally be all about this. My wife wants me to dig up the yard and see if it is there and turn it into a tiki bar. Yes.
Oh, please. Got to do it, dude. So give that a try. Definitely a different drink now. Put some different notes in.
It's the
You
chartreuse.
can't take the chartreuse. This improves it, I think.
I feel like
A
if you
little
got rid
sour.
of the chartreuse, that might
be a
actually
good
be
drink.
okay.
Or if there was just like a different herbal.
Just-
I might try this with the Benedictine instead, and we'll see where we are.
Just add Zima. Oh, gum arabic
Now
is
you're
an
talking.
amazing emulsifier. Problem is, it comes from Africa, made with sketchy labor practices. Yeah,
Probably.
I believe that. I forget. Did we get that at? Caloostians?
No, I got that locally.
Oh.
It's at, probably over at...
I just feel like anything with chartreuse is a hearty hell no for me.
You don't like the green, and I'm thinking to myself, you're probably not going to like the yellow. The yellow is a lower proof version of the green,
Gross. No, it's the flavor.
but I think it's the flavor combo. So I don't think that they're using much different.
Too many
way of
ingredients with too
herbs.
many syllables.
Oh, seriously, it's just all over the damn place. It's a bloody train wreck, much like the movie. So I thought I've got to make this because now is the time. I'm not going to make this on the air again, and see just how bad was this when I made it before. And you know what? It's the chartreuse.
Time says when I was 18, Zima was my jam.
Oh, woo!
Well,
Yo.
I liked wine coolers back then, so what can I say?
Circa that age, I didn't drink. Yeah, well, I didn't drink the hard stuff. No, at that
did.
period of time, it was. Ken remembers it was all beer. We used to find that our best value
Beer is drinking.
was oil cans. No, I'm talking about I said the hard stuff.
Oh,
I didn't do the hard stuff. But oil cans. So we were doing Foster's. Foster's was available
Hi,
really
Clinton.
pretty cheap. It was probably like a couple bucks a can.
Oh, thank
And
you.
that's a double-sized can. So hey.
Please speak slower. Thank you, Clinton. Yeah, we have a new website. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah. Check it out. You'll have a lot of fun
We
with that.
thank you for your support.
Oh, now we're right back to the wine cool laws.
We were
That
talking
was the
about
other thing at the
Bartles
time.
and James. Why were we talking about Bartles and James?
You were talking about like you just doing something with wine. You were talking about the fact that wine has this tendency
Oh,
to
right.
like I have a glass, refill. I have a glass, refill. I have a glass, and it's like, how do you slow that down? You know?
Have we ever done something with Boone's Farm? We did a video, God,
A long time ago,
ages ago, where
A
we didn't
long time
use
ago.
Boone's. We used MD.
we used MD.
But it was
We were really trying.
the theme was getting rid of unwanted like house guests who won't leave. So like created this
MD drink.
horrifying cocktail with MD.
Pretty hideous.
But yeah.
Mainly because you couldn't find Ripple on the market anymore.
Maybe at Foster's, but always room for an ice cream dessert.
We never had freezer space, so if you bought a pint, you had to finish it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, unless you were sharing the pint, and why would we ever do that? So I was literally eating like
Flashbacks.
a pint of coffee ice cream at a time, and I didn't really put it on. I was just burning it all off at the time. Today, I would not do that. I would get the coffee ice cream. I would make the coffee ice cream.
Yeah, Mad Dog,
Yeah.
and driving around town. Well, originally we were looking for Thunderbird. Mm-hmm. Well, no, originally we were looking for Ripple,
Yeah.
and then realized that Ripple was
Long gone off the market.
long gone.
Don't look for it. It's
So
not
then we
there.
were driving around looking for Thunderbird.
Which is on the market, but not ours.
Nowhere near us.
Nowhere near us.
then
Thunderbird
there
is,
was-
is the same old classic. It's WPLJ in a bottle.
And
what it is.
yeah, so our choices were like Wild Irish Rose, which I don't know why we didn't do that. I'm trying
Why
to
the hell?
remember,
Well,
but,
we certainly could do
but
it
then
now.
we ended up getting MD.
Decided on the
was-
MD. I think it was the grape. It was very purple.
Just give them that drink you just made. I know, damn right. Oh boy, gotta go. Look at the
Yowza.
time.
Gotta say, we had the MD for a while in the fridge, and then finally I said, "This is just drain
Tango
cleaner."
was an
So away it
experience.
was.
Oh.
It went.
Thunderbird, oh my god, it
T-Bird.
was.
The,
Oy, it was-
my punk rock friends
I
circa
can't get it around
college
here.
years were always drinking the cheapest crap they could get, and T-Bird was always on the menu. That stuff is very lighter fluidy. Yeah, it's really, really cheap wine.
Oh, that's so funny. John says, I went to Hill Farmstead Brewery and they didn't have any growlers. So I went and bought some Carlo Rossi, then dumped that in the glass to bring home good beer.
There you
Oh
go.
my god, that's hilarious.
No, that's like a 5-gallon growler. Dang.
What's the price? Wait, of which one?
Oh, MD?
MD?
MD's cheap.
It was really cheap.
It was at the time something like $8, or that sounds like a lot, frankly. Probably $5.99.
Yes, today we would put minty booze in our ice cream.
As
Yep.
Lounge recently showed us.
Night Train, yes. We didn't find, like, do they still make Night Train? We didn't find it.
I don't think we found Night Train. It might still be made. Gotta go to bumwine.com and then we'll find out.
Nice cream. Wait, okay, hold on. Night Train.
Nice
I'm gonna get the
dreams.
song.
Yeah, you're gonna get the song.
Night Train Wine. Okay, it's
Night Train wine.
It's the third.
What do we got?
It's
Gotta
the
go to
third
Bum
down.
Wine. I think we're looking at
Is
it.
Night Train still made? It has been discontinued.
Oh, made by
Made by E&J Gallo Winery.
Ernest and
okay.
Julio. It has been discontinued. Last stop for Night Trend Express, Modern Drunkard.
From Modern Drunkard magazine. When is it? Oh, it doesn't say when it's from.
I have to check the copyright on the bottom there, see what's what. No, we
It
don't have a
doesn't
date.
say. Oh.
I have to check the meta.
Yeah. Tisk tisk. You can still get Wild Irish Rose though, because I saw
Rose
it
is
at
still
a liquor
around.
store recently.
MD's still around. MD
Hi,
has like
Gettysburg, ma'am.
MD's got like 6 or 7 flavors, and isn't there a picture either you took this or somebody did of being at I think south of the border, notorious truck stop, East Coast. I think that's
That
somewhere
was
in the
me.
Carolinas. Oh yeah, and it's just like pallets of MD, all flavors, just going as far as the eye can see.
Oh, it was just it
It's
was
like,
just one of the.
This is what truckers drink after hours? Whoa. Yowza, that explains a few things.
Peter says T-Bird. My head is pounding just from mentioning it.
Oh man. Oh man,
Sorry.
I'm gonna tell you.
So I'm trying to decide.
Yeah, T-Bird, as I recall, was just the balance was way off, and it was just it starts out life as extremely cheap white wine. So you really have to put something in it to make it like not be just
Oh my god.
well rhymes. Yeah. I'm not going to say it on the air. You need to do something to it to make it just not taste like it came out of the gutter. And usually what you do is you add lemon juice and not much else. So they were just adding citric acid.
I got to read
to the stuff.
William Moffat's quote. Went to the Christian Brothers Winery in New York. We got kicked out of the tasting room because we were calling their holiday spice wine cough syrup. That's
big fun.
hilarious.
Big fun. Christian, is that the Brothers Brothers Vineyard that's near us? That's the oldest operating one in the States, I think. We had a bottle of their bubbles on the air recently.
And that's
didn't we?
Brotherhood.
Oh, Brotherhood. Okay.
Yeah.
Different one. Different bunch of brothers. Different bunch of monks making the wine.
Okay, is this clean?
Should be.
I actually have a mocktail for you. I'm not through drinking, but
not through.
I'm gonna do a mocktail.
Actually going for a second round of this, although I think I'll keep it short.
So
Once again, straight up.
I'm sticking to the.
No.
Oh, Brotherhood is name. Okay, so it is that one.
There we go.
We'll have to keep that in mind if we visit. Brotherhood Winery is like 20 minutes from here, and we've never been.
Our neighbor some years ago, no longer with us, actually brought us a bottle of Brotherhood Winery. I think it was the
Flaming Moe.
Mabel wine, which was just some sort of herbified wine. I thought that was
Okay.
pretty good. A little sweet, but perfectly fine.
Okay, I'm going to do a mocktail spacer.
Once again, straight up, this is a terrible idea. There's no sour in it. It's kind of unbalanced. It's got a big hit of the bitters, but that's not helping. It's really not helping.
Time's talking about a night train. It was like drinking Sterno and grape juice.
In the movie version, In the movie, I think in President's Analyst, Andromeda Strain, where like a satellite falls to Earth spreading some virus. There's a scene where you've got like a bum and a young girl, and they're the only 2 survivors of this town. They're all wiped out. Why did they survive? He says, well, we were drinking squeeze. And it turns out he meant Sterno.
Oh.
So they were drinking Sterno. So the alcohol actually like prevented the virus. I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe that's the case, but I wouldn't go drinking Sterno.
Winos are
Just
called
saying.
Sternos.
Sternos. Oh yeah, there you go. I mean, Sterno is ethyl alcohol, but to prevent people from doing that,
Just so I could put this
the
in.
company adds stuff to it. Drop it.
Thank you.
Add stuff to it so
Right.
that you can't do it because you'll get really sick. Yeah, that's a good idea. You don't want to be drinking that.
All right, so this one I'm calling Strawberry Fields Egg Cream. So I just added a tablespoon of strawberry syrup
To your glitter.
to my I did put edible glitter in
Glitter
here.
glass. Can you get me the Campari, please? I'm going to try some Campari in this
All
and
right,
see if that
yep,
makes a difference.
yep.
Different herbal.
All right, if you could hand me the milk, please.
Glad you handed the milk.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm doing almond milk.
But you do you.
Thank you. This is 2 ounces, you said?
That's straight up 2 ounces. You could do
Right.
cow milk, you could do oat milk, you can
2.
do cashew milk, macadamia milk, whatever.
Yeah,
the hell.
the
Doesn't
hell.
matter.
I'll do the
Nut
whole,
milk.
I'll do the whole 2 ounces.
People are all about
Right.
oat milk these days. We tried it because we had a request on
you.
the movie, and I thought it was pretty good.
And
Okay,
then
so I'm going to throw in, what do you need?
I need the club soda.
The club soda. Sure.
All right.
True. So,
Thank you.
There you
Okay.
go. But of course.
So, in the early days of COVID, we saw an increase in alcohol purchases. Yeah. Strawberry Fields, whatever.
Strawberry.
So the one I made earlier
whatever.
was Get Back Strawberry Fields, which is actually really good. Okay, so I'm gonna add some ice to this first. And then I'm going to fill with my club soda and see what we think.
Not standing on ceremony, but we're going to try this again.
Well, not fill, but
Oh, that's much better.
I hope it's sparkly.
There. Yeah, some really heavy bitter in that actually definitely improves this thing.
Oh, there's just like pink stuff floating on the top now because I did the edible glitter. All right, I need a swizzle too. Let's use a pink swizzle, shall we?
Pink swizzle.
The most famous use of the mellotron, yes. All right. Okay, I don't know if you probably can't see it on the video, but you can see it looks glittery in person. Oops.
That is a debatable.
Did you bring a towel over?
Debatable point, Eric. I'm thinking that the one that people may remember very much from Mellotron could well be Nights in White Satin, because I think was it Mike Pender was actually playing that on there.
All right.
We were listening earlier to take 4 or 5 of Strawberry Fields from the files that Dime sent us.
Hi,
And
Tracy.
without any effects, without any Leslie treatment on the vocal, and it sounded quite a bit different, but it's a tracking thing. It's better with the effects.
This is good.
Oh, I bet it's excellent. Let's see.
I didn't know if I would get the proportions right.
Oh, I think you nailed
That
it.
was a tablespoon
Yummy.
of the strawberry syrup, 2 ounces of almond milk.
Yep.
And then fill with your club soda.
There you go.
It tastes like a Quick, like a strawberry Quick.
It really does taste like Strawberry Quick. Although Strawberry Quick is much more Pepto Pink, and we're questioning where that strawberry came from in the Quick. Here, this was actually strawberries.
Although there's like strawberry glitter sticking to the...
Yes.
You know, in
Strawberry
hindsight, I
Quick
might add the
forever.
glitter at the end.
So it actually floats on top.
Because I'm just getting like pink blobs, which is okay with me. But
Beware the blob. Let's see here. Gonna add a little bit more.
That's
Gonna balance this out
refreshing.
again. It's tough to keep the
Okay.
proportions right when you're just sort of pouring.
okay.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, he's still trying to make this drink good.
This definitely improves it, and I'll have you try it yet again. I think all I'm really doing is masking the chartreuse. But I was thinking that Chinar would work well in this. I believe I'm right in that assessment. I don't have a bottle of Chinar to try that out with. So, give that a whirl.
Nope.
Nope, not happening. It's better.
Ugh.
Better.
No, it's not better.
We're actually going to try this one more time.
Better. I feel like I'm getting the chartreuse more.
We're going to try this at a different point and just kill the chartreuse entirely and throw something else in. I would say either the Benedictine over here or maybe some Chinar Period. Just replace it with an Amaro. Maybe a little bit of sour in there.
I was reading your comments. We call it obnoxious drink for the benefit of Mr. Kai's urinal block.
Yeah, I think it's going to take care of your kidney stones. Let's just put it that way.
Who was more popular in 1967, Beatles or Moody Blues?
In 1967, the Beatles had the best-selling record of the year. In 1968, the Moody Blues were ascendant.
It's got rum in it, Tracy. The problem is the chartreuse.
Yeah, that's really seriously.
And it's like no matter how much more stuff he adds, I feel like I'm just tasting the chartreuse more.
Yeah.
It's just an abomination, and I recommend not making it.
Nah. This thing is just like a train wreck.
See,
That's why I made it.
Just pour it down the drain.
That's why I made it.
Just pour it down the drain.
Once more for good luck.
You could
No.
if you I don't want to make you make something awful, but if you wanted to attempt to do something drinkable, you could do it without the chartreuse.
What I was saying before was that I would try exact same formula, scratch the chartreuse and put in
Ooh.
something else herbal like the Benedictine and see what happens. Because I like this as a base. So I think, look, if you don't like an ingredient that's going in, it's probably not going to make your drink better. Whereas this could have good effects. We put this in stuff like Singapore Sling. In fact, I'll probably just make a Singapore Sling right now.
Oh, well, there you go. It says,
That's
funny,
easy.
ironic, lounge cocktail bomb like the Bee Gees.
I was thinking that if I made this and it was terrible, I'd say, there you go.
Yeah, definitely,
It's big, it's stupid, it has too many
Well, yeah,
ingredients.
definitely.
Just like the movie.
The more aged El Dorado, I totally agree. I wouldn't use like the 12-year to make a drink. He used Myers. He didn't use the El Dorado in his, but
Myers is a great mixer, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, the Who. Okay, Peter's voting for the Who.
In that period of time, I would have seen them like early '68 in the U.S. tour. They were absolutely on fire, and they just come out with a fantastic record. My favorite of their albums. Just great concept record. Very flash bang pow. Very much in the spirit of all that Sgt. Pepper stuff, but just very straight up high energy pop music. They were just crazy good, and the album tanked. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They had to go back to the drawing board, and like a year later, they come out with another record, and that one hits. But really, in retrospect, people are like all over Sellout.
You can have some of that.
Definitely, no question. That's just fantastic.
Get the taste of that.
Well, it's not hurting.
That abomination.
This
out
like
your mouth.
mocktail style thing over here, which is really just a milkshake, is doing just fine,
Well, let's see. As though I can read this.
Albeit.
What are the
Sugar, water, fruit juices, blah 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 blah, blended fruit juices, natural flavor, whatever.
Okay, wait,
that is
so-
citric acid and xanthan gum.
Oh, so okay, one serving is 2 tablespoons.
Okay,
I used 1 tablespoon.
it's pretty sweet, so I think one
All right.
tablespoon works fine.
So yeah. So I feel like this whole drink is maybe like 70 calories or something.
Yeah, not too much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Anyway,
they're
if you're
talking about
interested.
They're talking about if you're going to throw that on your pancakes or something, that would be 2 tablespoons worth. So,
You know, I'm enjoying it in a drink, but I'm not sure I'd enjoy it on my pancakes.
maybe not. But it's a good drink ingredient. I mean, we actually had a party here where we were doing Key Royale, and to keep it
yeah.
accessible to people who were not drinking, we had the non-alcoholic Key Royale with the Martinelli cider and
Raspberry syrup.
The raspberry syrup.
that-
The raspberry syrup
that-
flavor was identical
That was pretty good, actually.
to the raspberry liqueur, and like it worked just the same way. And people during the evening could dial it down and say, "Yeah, I'll take one of those things," and suddenly
Yeah.
you don't have any bubbles at all.
That was kind of a hit.
I mean, a Royale, I love, great drink. It's fantastic brunch kind of drink too. So, anyway, I gotta figure out what the hell I usually put into a sling, and
That sounded wrong.
kind of wrong, Put this into a sling, and then we'll just make it because I need something. I'm totally out. This thing is just complete bomb, like the movie. There you go.
It's a drain cleaner.
In retrospect, look, watching the picture for the first time just recently. I guess it was Saturday we took a look at it.
I'd seen it before.
You had seen it. But I'm looking at this and saying, the musical numbers are frequently quite good. They're actually, well done. They're well sung. Some of them are very good. Some of them hit the charts. Earth, Wind, and Fire did fine with this thing because they come off really well in the picture. They're just like, they're not in funny costumes, except their own. They just like Earth, Wind, and Fire, like they dropped in off of the mothership. Like, are you guys Parliament? No. And they just come in and do this total funked version of Got to Get Into My Life, which is great. And that actually hit the charts. I remember hearing that at the time. And Aerosmith, and aforementioned, had a hit version with that. And there was some other song that off the album that actually did hit the top 40 at the time. And but that's like the best bit. Otherwise, it's like a bunch of like straight up covers of Beatles stuff. You're like, yeah, whatever, Good version of Lucy in the Sky featuring Stargard. That's actually quite nice. Orange liqueur. I might be able to help you with that. Be right back.
All right.
So.
What, are you doing a Singapore slang for real?
I think I shall.
Okay, well, you're going to need the gin. And, we already have the Benedictine. And, I'm forgetting now. Oh, welcome to Florida in a rocks glass with ice, Grey Goose vodka, and a splash of Cointreau. Newly moving to South Florida. Oh, oh no.
All right,
Okay, so
let's do this for real and for serious. So this I'm just going to build in a glass. We have got some narrow glasses
gonna get you
here.
the gin.
Or not. I don't see any of them.
Oh, do you want?
I'll take one of those chimneys, please. And this is a fun chimney, so I'll definitely go for that. And I will take the gin. When you return, I can sit here and vamp with the people. Boom. Grey Goose, Cointreau. Oh, I hear that. You know, it's like, what am I gonna do? What's gonna help me out here? And sometimes you can just come up with something good, real simple, and boom. We have actually been at the event we go to in Lake George, and we brought along some canned Prosecco. And just, you know, you throw it in the cooler so it gets super, super cold. And you're there and it's really hot. You crack one of those and you're like, yeah, you just have a can of Prosecco. And it's like, this is awesome. 12 ounces of Prosecco. Well, that's half a bottle. That's half of a 750. Bear that in mind when you do that. First thing you want to do is throw some ice on it. Most formulas are potentially calling for crushed ice. I don't think that's really necessary in this case. But I'll take one more cube. So, chimney glass. Chimney glass is very narrow and very tall. This is also known as the zombie glass. This one is a little hard to see now. Actually has the bamboo that's actually etched in. This is, I think, Noritake. It's very cool. I like these. I would like to have more of them. I managed to break a few of these. It's really pissing me off.
Oh.
So, going to...
Wait, of those?
Yeah, I broke a couple of these damn things.
Oh, jeez.
Really, really, really... It was just because they weren't stored well.
Oh, Tommy, yeah. I see what you mean about 70s adaptations of 60s rock albums flopping. Yeah.
Well, Tommy the movie was successful.
Half a bottle.
And I think the album sold reasonably well, and it was actually a really big deal for the Who.
Wait, how much gin did you do?
Watch 1 ounce, and watching Pepper, I was really reminded of certain sections of Tommy, sections of the Phantom of the Paradise, the Apple, which came after, so obviously they were ripping off Pepper, if anything. A lot of these rock musicals had that sort of tone and look and whatnot. And I got to say that, you know, some of these movies are terrible, and this is no worse than them. Pepper really got pilloried at the time. And I think the Bee Gees and Frampton really took a hit for participating in it. And I'm like, they sing well. They really do. I think the film was made with way too much cocaine, but there you go. Half ounce of maraschino. I could take that, please.
All right, hold on.
Hold it. I was not prepared to make this, so I got to send her all over the place, don't I? I thank you.
It's just easier for me to go.
Rinse the palate.
All right. Okay, so have you put in anything except the gin yet?
No, 1 ounce of gin, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I need that stuff to get this thing open.
All right.
All these sugary things, man. Most recipes, formulas for the Singapore sling are going to call for cherry hearing. And we don't actually have that. And since we don't have that, I have traditionally used maraschino, and I like it, so I keep using it. It's a sharper taste, and it is very cherry, and it's very sweet, so it does the job.
I love it. The platform booths Elton John wears and Tommy were crazy.
Oh, nuts.
Yes.
Nuts. Tommy, we actually saw at one point. I think it was just happened to be on really, really late one night. And it sung through. The whole thing just goes and goes.
How much maraschino did
Half
you
ounce.
do? Okay.
Half ounce of Benedictine, too.
Okay.
And I'm going to need the triple.
That's here.
Or Curacao, whatever. I don't think any big difference when you're making this kind of drink. Triple.
There you go, Peter.
So you have it. Here's your orange liqueur. I was about to reach for the Marnier.
Oh, so
I don't think you need that.
About the only alcohol we have in the cupboard is cherry hearing. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Peter says, I'm still waiting for a film adaptation of Husker Du's Zen Arcade.
Oh, now you're talking. Let's see that. That's actually that album's a real journey. I got that at the time.
The cherry flavor chemical is the same flavor for almond. Huh.
In the maraschino, I would say, yeah, you're very close to that, because to make marasca, in this case, or maraschino, that one's actually from Croatia. You take the whole cherry and you crush the whole thing up so the pits get crushed.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So you have some of that flavor, which is a very almondy flavor. Half ounce worth of lime juice.
Wait, how much triple sec did you do?
Quarter.
Okay. And lime. Half ounce, you said?
Half ounce of lime.
Okay.
Dash of Angostura. I have it right here. Using it. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I added 2 dashes. What the hell?
I'll say 2.
Got to put some bitters in there to get the taste of that last one out of my mouth. Boyo. And the instructions call for like 1.5 ounce of bubbles. That is seltzer. I'm just pouring. That's about right. Bomb diggity. This has like a nice little like sort of a slick of the bitters like floating around in there. It's got a nice look. It looks a lot like a Planter's Punch. Add your straw.
All right.
I should really add a swizzle to this. I have a
Oh,
swizzle.
yes. You
There you go.
got to have a swizzle to stir it. Can't stir it with a straw.
One more time. See what you got there.
Well, I like a Singapore sling.
I like a Singapore sling. Seriously, guys. There is an easier formula for this thing, which is kind of like 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce. And I think that that's actually being promoted by Jeff Berry these days, so who knows. The original formula for this is lost to the mists of time. The place where this was devised doesn't know it, doesn't have it, and when they make theirs, it uses pineapple. So they may claim to be like, we're the original
Raffles Hotel.
We're the original sling, and it's just that you don't have any clue what the hell's in there. There have been a lot of investigations to try to find out what was in there. I think David
was good.
Wondrich probably got the closest and came up with a pretty good formula, which is different than what I'm doing here. So I should really dig up what the hell he did and go from there. There's like, he found some newspaper article that said, this is what's in the sling. I asked the bartender. And this was like back in the 20s, and that's about as close as you're going to get.
Would you mind passing that along?
Okay, now that's a drink.
Now
It
that's
involves, it's a
a
tall
drink.
one. It involves bitters. It could plausibly be called a cocktail, but really it's a tall one, like a Collins.
I gotta make room. I'm gonna make another one.
Gotta make another. Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
As they say, make room, make room.
We gotta make room on our cocktail sheet, which all of our Patreon patrons will get later.
If you pass me the spray too,
Okay,
when you get a
hold
chance, that will be.
Bus, just a
Mari Wheels.
second.
So you know, if at first you fail, don't try it again. Just do something completely different. That's what I'm thinking to
All right,
myself.
here.
I knew full well that the Almagoozlum was going to be weird.
Well,
And I was thinking to myself, well, can we improve it? And I thought I'd try, and I'm like, no, not really.
I
No,
was
you really-
willing to give
You
it.
can't take it as is and make it better. You have to just go break it down from scratch, eliminate an ingredient, and then try again, which I will do, just not tonight.
I was willing to give it a chance,
Yeah.
but anything with chartreuse.
Mm-hmm.
Was like, Tom Collins and his Jones.
Junes.
his
Junes.
Jones.
And it's Junes. No laugh. Husker Du, I
So-
still have a lot of Husker Du, and I play them from time to time. They're a lot of fun. They, their early stuff. There was a point where I was seeing something from Bob and Bold where he's going, we never played hardcore. I'm like, really? Because when I put on Land Speed Record, I don't know what the hell you think you're playing, but I know what you're playing is hardcore. And but they graduated to do something that was just very noisy kind of rock. Very influential on the grunge scene later, absolutely. And never really like completely synced in their day in terms of like a big band. They got a lot of college airplay. Saw them live once. They were really great. They were really great. One of the opening acts was Soul Asylum. They were cool. I like them.
I have an inspiration.
Go with your inspiration. That's what you've got to do. Malas.
It involves opening a bottle of bubbles.
Well, we also have cider, in case that's a good sub.
No.
Okay, then the bubbles is right there for you, and I think it's blue.
I don't have to go with my inspiration if we don't want to open a bottle of bubbles.
You know,
Even though it's a really good inspiration.
shall we take a poll from the audience? You know what they're gonna say. And the simple fact is,
Okay.
a bottle of bubbles only lasts so long.
I suppose you only live once.
Hang.
Did you just tell me to hang?
Hang out.
I'm gonna need you to go. The Soul Salad was enjoyable. Yeah, Agent Orange. Oh. I'm gonna need you to wash out that big snifter too. I'm thinking of the scene at Big Deal's house in the movie, where
Where is the big snifter?
thank you. It's in that tuft. I don't know what you call it. In that poof.
Hassock.
and they're drinking out of these huge brandy snifters.
Well, about time to crack this.
And
baby out.
we have one. Okay, we're getting those for Bubbles. So. I'm sorry. I wasn't going to do this, but here I am doing it. I made a mocktail. All right. Okay.
You do it.
All right. Let's pop these bubbles. I haven't bought these before, but they looked fun. Hi, Troy. Oh, popping bubbles. All right, we're getting more votes for popping. All right, let's do it.
There we go. I guess we're doing it.
Okay, we're doing it. I've got the plastic off. We're definitely doing it. There's no turning back.
No turning back now. You've got to do it, Captain.
All right. Blue Prosecco. We checked out a new store on Sunday when our plans got completely tanked. Oh, hi, Chaz. Chaz says Saw the Who in 1967. They opened for Herman's Hermits. Oh my God. I love that. Coming back?
You wanted this clean, didn't you?
I do.
Then you gotta wait.
Okay. He's cleaning off the gigantic snifter, which will make this will elevate this.
It will elevate this.
All right.
Very soaked.
Let's
Ready to try this
elevate it.
one. Who when?
Chaz
Saw the Who?
in 1967.
And you said opening for?
They were opening for Herman's Hermits. I have to sneeze.
Oh yeah, please.
Excuse me.
Bless them. Please.
Oh my goodness.
I
Ugh.
just cracked this open. A lot
Oh,
of dust.
Dead Milkman, Bitch and Camaro. I sing that every time I see a Camaro.
Yeah, you know the that's.
Because we have a Challenger, so it's like
Kind of have to talk about the Camaro.
we have to trash talk the Camaro.
Have to talk about the muscle cars. We took a look before we bought a muscle car. We took a look into the available muscle cars.
Pony
and
car.
Camaros were available. They look like a lot of fun. There's no trunk space whatsoever. Mustangs are out there. They look like a lot of fun. There's no trunk space.
But whenever I see one now, I'm like,
Challenger
I
is
got a bitchin' Camaro.
It's really a big car, and there's trunk space. You're like, I can put some luggage in this thing. It's not like it's not a transport van, but you could throw your guitar amp in there and rock and roll, and then you show up to the gig in a Challenger. So there you go, guys.
I got a bitchin' Camaro.
So the fun part is when you're holding one of these babies and you say, I'm only having one. There you go. Nicely polished, too. Isn't that better? Yeah.
Okay.
Got to take
I
care of
am
you
not
now.
going to pour
Got
the
to
entire
take care of
bottle
you.
in here. All right. So I'm calling it.
Just for giggles. Has it improved by sitting there?
All right. I need to call it something about. Oh,
No.
thank you again.
No.
Bless you.
Ah.
Godzilla. It's a non-denominational. Okay.
That's the kind of thing.
All right.
Oh, on the comment
it.
from Charlie there about seeing the Who. Yeah, that was their tour. This is this bizarre show where they were opening up.
A muscle glass.
They played at the Monterey Festival, and then they had to book some shows because they were in America. So they opened.
you, Don.
They booked some shows where they were opening up for Herman's Hermits, and the second opening band was the Blues Magoos.
A muscle glass.
That sounds
yes.
like a great bill to me.
The biggest cocktail glasses were in the Poconos. Oh my God, I believe that.
The Jimi Hendrix
Oh, the
experience.
martini glass jacuzzis. I've always wanted to go to one of those, but I wonder, like, is it once you get there, you look at the, is it skeezy once you get there? Because I would be all about doing this.
I would sit in that jacuzzi and have some
I
fun.
gotta decide what I want to do to this.
You got to think about it. What do you think about it? I'll ramp. I'll
right.
vamp. Same show. Say another English group comes and they play the show, and it's like, what the hell are they gonna do? They have to tour. That was the Jimi Hendrix experience, and they signed on to open up for Monkeys. And he actually had met Mickey DeLenz in the UK, and he's just like, yeah, we'd like to tour with you. So they do for a while, and then there's some rumors about them like being like complaints from various sources. So like they get off the tour. We kind of think that they wanted off the tour. So then they just continued to play places like the Fillmore and whatnot, and really make their name. And by their early part of the following year, they were like the #1 group kicking around there. But they were a very dynamic group.
Okay, I've
So-
added some edible glitter to the bottom of my giant snifter.
And that's the medium
Do
size,
I really
by the
think
way.
this is blue?
I don't think so. I think it's just blue.
No.
No.
Yeah, no, it's not actually
Blue, not blue. There is the blue Prosecco.
I know. I keep wanting to buy it.
Yeah, we should buy one. We were at that party that had the bears, as a matter of fact, and they were all talking.
That
about
was
the blue.
super fun.
That was super fun. It was a great thing. So.
And they had something to do with the company that was making the blue.
Yeah, they were
All
talking
right,
about
so
that.
I know what I'm doing here.
All these rumors about like us getting a sample bottle or whatnot. That didn't happen, but the bears are great, folks. So there we go.
Okay, so...
Glitter is 100% digestible. Some sources will tell you, don't, it's poison. Well, we've been using it for years in drinks, and I'm still standing, so you be the judge.
This is made for baking. I didn't buy this at the craft store. I bought this at New York Cake.
New York Cake, which
New York
is...
Cake.
Don't look for it, it's no longer there.
It's, you can still, I think you can still order from them online.
Oh, good, okay. So they're around, they're just no longer in person.
Okay, so...
Used to be right near Adorama Camera, as a matter of fact, which I've been to many times.
What was in here?
Last that had...
Just tell me it's not the chartreuse.
No, this was not chartreuse.
If even a drop of chartreuse is in there, I'm going to hate this.
Probably gin. Yes, yeah, the chartreuse is pretty vile. I don't know why. This is a classic liqueur. Did we get a bad batch or something? It just tastes like, it literally tastes like sort of scented toilet paper. like just really, wow.
Gold
what the hell's
leaf
going
isn't
on?
hurt.
Yes.
It's in Goldschlager.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a half ounce
24 karat gold leaf
blue curacao.
is not reactive. So your body's
Right
just
away.
going to say pass it through, which means that you end up with, well, you know what you end up with.
I try not. Well, no,
So-
that's not true. I do totally try to evangelize for good booze on this show.
You do indeed.
If you're gonna get blue curacao, get a good one.
Giffard Blue is an
Don't get
excellent
one that's like $7.
The Giffard Blue is good. The Curacao from Curacao makes a blue that's very good.
Okay.
I've had that. And there's a couple others on the market, but the one that costs $7 on the bottom shelf that starts with LL, I'm not going to go any further than that. Don't.
I haven't
Even
seen that lately. Are they
think
still
about
in
it.
business?
Well, the Black Prince Distillery is gone because it's being replaced by condos. Because I pass that every time I'm on the train.
Right.
I used to see this distillery. I'm like, oh, what happens there? And I looked it up. I'm like, oh, that's what happens there. They make cheap liquors.
Oh, a trifle
Oh,
bowl. Yeah,
man.
yeah. We have a trifle bowl.
Yes.
We can do that.
Yeah, it is huge. It's absolutely
So-
enormous. You can make a nice punch out of it.
All right. Ooh, it's
There you go.
already super sparkly. All right. So that was a half ounce blue curacao,
What is the
1
movie?
ounce gin.
Is it Out to Sea or the film where they're at the bar, and he's like, "Give me a martini," and the guy he grabs a glass. He's like, "No, that one." And there's like the huge stunt martini glass. So he's like,
Was it
"Okay,
Out to Sea?
it's not Out to Sea. I'm wrong. It's the starts with an R." Stanley Tucci is in this thing. Somebody's
That
going to help
narrows
me
it
out here,
down.
and there we go.
Stanley Tucci's only been in like 200 things.
I know. And I'm trying to think if it was Oliver Platt, I think.
I'm not
Look up
gonna use
Tucci and
this.
Platt. Somebody,
All right,
please
hold
help
on.
me out
Yes.
here. Yep.
Um,
I'm thinking the replacements. No,
no,
that's a
no.
rock band. Somebody here has seen those people, too.
Yeah, no. No, I gotta look it up.
The
right.
Imposters, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, what the hell.
Yeah.
We'll just look up Oliver Platt and figure out
Yeah,
what's
it's
what.
one that has the line, "We're of the theater." Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're going to
hold
have
on.
to check his full
Yeah,
credits
Oliver
to figure
Platt. I
out.
looked up Oliver Platt because I was like, well, he'll have fewer credits, and nope, he has
He
like
has plenty.
98. Okay,
Plenty.
hold on. Actor.
Actor!
We got to go back to the 90s here.
Yeah. See all of it, please.
All right,
I know he's
hold
still
on,
working.
hold on,
He's
hold
still rocking.
on.
There's a lot going on. We got to go back to about
Oh, Michael.
1996 or something. The Imposters.
The Imposters. You were right.
Yeah, I was right. Hey, how about that? Yeah. Picture board ship. It's very off the cuff. Pretty funny.
Yes.
I recall that being pretty hilarious.
We're of the
And the
theater.
bit with the actual cocktail glass. No, that one. And then he gets it and he's just like, "Grr." It's a good stunt. We used to have one of those. I broke
Right.
it. It's a real shame. You use it for like fish bowls and stuff. But I really should get one again and just do the stunt martini in the damn thing. Don't drink it. I mean, all of it. You can't possibly have 750 of gin and survive. in one setting.
Going to
you
do
know?
a couple of dashes of lime
Oh,
bitters.
sounds like fun, doesn't it? Lime
All
bitters are fun.
And then I will add my bubbles.
A
Hopefully
muscle
it will
glass.
look decadent, like a...
Are you adding the entire bottle?
No.
No!
I already said I wasn't going to do that. All right.
That's about as much as they have in the movie, anyway.
Yeah,
So.
okay. I need a cork.
Big
Pardon
fun.
me.
Okay, wise guy Bill over here is asking us if the blue prosecco is made in the champenoise method or just CO2 carbonated wine. Look, pal, I have no idea, but I'll look for you, just for you, Bill. I'm just saying, I'll do that. This is actually prosecco, so it is not made during the champenoise method. Although it might be close because it is actually made in Italy, as it should be. It is extra dry, which is the way you want to get your
Okay, this is
prosecco.
hilarious.
And talking about all the flavors of honeysuckle and peaches that's in it, blah, 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 blah. It's a decent prosecco. It is actually a carbonated wine that is made by doing the second fermentation. So maybe it is champenoise. Hey, maybe I'm wrong.
All right, I want to
Hey,
picture
I
myself.
apologize.
I want to picture myself drinking out of this gigantic glass. So
Yeah, you
hold
really
on.
do.
Let me get a selfie.
I
So
need
the
to do the
weird
same.
thing about this has nothing to do with the drink's actually good, but all right, selfie time. Wait, hold on.
Well, you got to drink it.
I never do this, but like I gotta have a selfie.
Can I have a selfie?
All right.
Let's see if I can get myself positioned properly.
All right. We're through being stupid.
That looks kind of great.
All right.
There we go.
Well, actually, I can't promise that we're through being stupid, but the weird thing about this is this giant snifter is like capturing all the fumes of like the gin and stuff. So when I went to initially take a drink, I was like, "Oh my god!" It was like singeing your nose hair. kind of.
Obviously, the snifter style, usually in a much smaller configuration, is designed to concentrate the aromas. And when you have like an aged brandy in your hand and you swirl it in order to, like, you know, provide heat from your fingers into the brandy, then
That was hilarious.
the aroma will like waft towards you, and you'll say, "Ah, the 1957 Armagnac was a fine vintage," as if you know about such things. But yeah, I'm getting the whole like aroma coming right up at you. This glass
Be careful.
was originally provided to us by a friend because we asked about a drink that we had at a particular location. And he knew the location, and they had gone out of business, and he had the formula for the dang thing. We have it. And the drink was a tropical called a Smoking Eruption.
Yes.
And the idea was you make the drink in this business, you insert a chimney glass in there filled with dry ice, and then you throw some water on it so it just goes smoke. And it's just crazy. Crazy. This nutty thing. I had this at the time at the place. This was the remnants of the kahiki from Columbus, Ohio, which unfortunately was long gone at the time that we saw it. But we were at its successor, and they had the food and they had the drinks, and it was very cool. It didn't look, the place was in a strip mall, looked like nothing, but inside the place was fabulous. They had the tables, they had the glassware, they had the drink bowls. It was very cool. I think we bought a mug. So glad we did, because that place is going out
one of my greatest regrets. I try hard not to have shopping regrets. Yeah, don't light a match. Ken, I love all your O's tonight, by the way.
Somebody has discovered how to use an umlaut.
Oh, Bill says, I actually applied to work at a local craft brewery. I asked about the second fermentation, and they said, heck no, CO2. And they showed me, oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay, funny.
I've seen an aquarium. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you know, if you're trying to put air in there, that is like, you know, carbon dioxide, there's ways to do it. And if you want to do it like the way that has been done for millennia, well, no, it has not been done for millennia.
The bubbles.
It has been done for centuries. The way it's been done for centuries is that you throw some sugar in there and then let the residual yeast go to town.
The bubbles
you
are
get the bubbles.
sparkly. I just wanted to show you.
The bubbles are sparkly.
Like, I'm fascinated by sparkly things.
I think my tongue is turning blue.
I know.
So,
It kind of is, actually.
Actually, it kind of is.
I had something really good to say.
Oh, take a second. You'll find it.
I can't remember now.
I think so. Don't you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be gone.
Well, it can't be gone too far. Anyway, if you lit a match here, nothing would happen because it's very low proof. But if it were brandy and you warmed it up. You are aromatizing it. You are vaporizing it, and the vapor is very flammable. The brandy itself, if we're very cold, would be very hard to light. So it's actually not that much of a hazard.
Julie, I love it. Julie says that glass would work great for your next Sandy Warner album cover.
Damn Skippy.
Oh my God.
Has everybody here seen the first Sandy Warner record cover? Let's go. Shall we?
Grab it. Commercial. Bill's on this album.
He is, in fact.
Ceviche by the Clams. I gotta tilt it
check
down
that
so
out.
that it's not all shiny.
There you go.
That.
Yeah,
there you
because
go.
it's in the plastic.
Yeah.
You have to have the plastic so we can demonstrate that this
Yes.
is. You're looking like, oh, I want the LP. Actually, this is as advertised, CDBS.
It's a CD.
It is the CD.
Dano rocks. Yes. We
CD
agree.
Compact disc big sleeve. As it states, 5-inch disc with 7 inches of disappointment. It's so awesome. There is no LP in here. Wah, wah, wah. But there's a CD. I was playing it earlier. It's great. It's just fantastic.
Oh, we've played it a
and
bunch
Bill
of times.
is featured
yeah.
on track 1, Fistful of Tacos. Now there's your Judas Priest right there, people. Awesome. The Clams. But you really want to see Kelly, don't you? Yeah, no, this is just great. That film shoot was right there. That is the photo shoot.
Don't ruin the magic.
The photo shoot was right there.
Don't ruin the magic.
I know, but you won't believe it because you can't. But I think we still have this stuff, as a matter of fact. But it was fantastic. Our friend Stephanie Peterson, giving her a call out. It was the photo shutterbug on this one.
Yes.
And Dana was responsible for making this whole thing happen. And I wish he were chiming in tonight because he really came up with a great product here. It
Big
just
sleeves.
sounds
Yes.
fab. Anyway, big sleeve. CDBS.
I love it.
It's available.
Yes,
if somebody wants to drop the link for the clams.
I was
Ceviche.
I was having a very stressful day when that arrived in the mail. It just made my day. I was so
Suddenly you felt
happy.
better.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Fermented ceviche. Yes, Ken, you're the second person who said that about
Well,
Captain
you know,
and Neil.
I would have to come up with some truly, truly hideous hat jokes, or just watch the show and use his because that's what he did.
I'm so fascinated that the bubbles are sparkly.
Yeah, they were sparkly, aren't they? Fantastic. They apparently there was some issues with their relationship or whatnot, but I will say that the captain is a pretty good straight man and very talented, but so was she. So was she, just fantastically talented. They're usually pictured playing pianos opposite each other, and keyboards and whatnot. And on their first album, I think she's providing the vocals and the backing vocals.
Yep.
So it's it was all a homebrew product. They had both toured with the Beach Boys. So
Yep.
they knew how to run a big band. I mean, they knew how to actually do all that stuff. They'd been in the studio a lot. She had started out as a studio singer. He was actually, Daryl Dragon is the son of, anybody? Carmen Dragon. You've seen his name on all those Hollywood Bowl Symphony albums. And,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if you have, but
Well, this audience might have. Anyway,
this
yeah.
audience might have.
That's it. Yeah, the Hollywood Bowl Symphony from the 50s. That's Carmen Dragon. And, they're good records. It's a lot of fun. And the Captain Steel records are well produced, I don't enjoy all of their hits or anything, but, I was listening to that first album recently and saying, there's a lot of fun stuff going on. And if you're a Beach Boys fan, you really appreciate the production on it. It just, there's something about it that says, you worked with these guys, didn't you?
I feel like if I'm thinking I'm trying to name this and I'm thinking of something very decadent and
I'm just pouring bubbles.
I feel like if it was actually decadent it would be really expensive champagne, but
Yeah, it would. It would.
we have champagne taste on our Prosecco budget. So.
Damn Skippy, people.
Oh, Muskrat Love, yes.
There you go. Cheesy synth noises are us.
Now I want to watch Captain and Tennille to pull out the box set.
Well, it just
Oh, it's Staying Alive's
What?
ending.
What's your appetite now, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, he's doing the
Yeah,
strut.
yep.
He's got a strut, and he is doing so.
Yes. Oh, man.
I think I'll 75 it. Don't criticize it.
What happened to your Singapore sling?
Gone. Gone.
That's gone long ago.
Oh, that's gone.
Dennis
Some time
Dragon,
ago.
the Surf Punks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Didn't I use them
It's-
on a Christmas collection not too long ago?
Yes.
With their song Christmas in Malibu. Actually, I
Yes,
found that on
yes.
cassette ages ago. Finally used it. Kind of fun. Kind of a lot of fun. Wait a minute, Dennis Dragon? I've never made that connection. Well, you learn something new on this show all the time, people. I'm going to use a little Maraska in here. I think that's a good idea. I used to work with, I think, 3 different people whose folks had come from Croatia. I'm like, there's a little Croatian mafia going on here. So when I saw this bottle, I said, hey, you know, I showed it to somebody who says, oh yeah, we know about Maraska. It's a real thing. So let's go. Fermented fish is a flavor component. Apparently that was called, they were basically calling that what we would call ketchup. Although more properly, I bet it would taste more like A1 or something else that had anchovy paste, like Worcestershire. Probably more of a Worcestershire sauce, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Because like the fish paste is like pure umami. That's it. Fermented fish, absolutely, absolutely.
I think I feel like I made something that
Yum,
had
yum.
anchovy paste.
Not too long ago.
Not too long ago. I can't remember what it was though.
Interesting. Very interesting. We started out talking about Sgt. Pepper. You're still looking at it behind me. If you want the cover of that, we've got this El Fico album here, as performed by Abbey Road 78. Yes, Springboard Records, trademark for quality. Got the Bee Gees themselves. And if you just want to listen to the beats, well, here you go. The boys are right behind me. Boom, done. Oy. Big fun. Good stuff.
I am glad I got this out, but I'm trying to think like BD's, like, because it's BD Records, Big Deal Records.
Big Deal Records. Yeah. Big deal. I'm rich. So.
I said
that was
BD's Decadent Brew.
His is not quite as decadent as this, even. I mean, I think his is just
His didn't have glitter in it.
His is just straight champagne.
Just saying.
Or whatever cheap plunk that he was serving at the time.
Is the record in the sleeve, or is it a cover of a cover? I lost track of which record we're talking about.
If you're talking about what I just pointed to, okay, so it's hard to see here, but Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, complete music from the movie as performed by Abbey Road 78. That is an actual double album set. As far as I can tell, it is track for track, just covering the entire sequence from the movie soundtrack. So the Bee Gees and Peter Frampton and Paul Nicholas and etc. Who else is singing on that? Steve Martin is singing on that. Alice Cooper is singing on that. George Burns, who probably has the best version of the entire thing. He really does well.
Oh, Chess says, compare and contrast to the mothers. We're only in it for the money cover.
Oh, here you go. Big fun.
I was afraid you would send him running
I'm not going to go and
upstairs.
get that. You can take a look at it online. But the funny thing about the mother's cover is that the inside of the record is the outside of the record, and the outside is the inside. Although I have found that record is very flexible, so you can actually just turn it whichever way you want. The faces on the cover of Pepper itself are slightly obscure from time to time. I'm looking at Aleister Crowley, Lenny Bruce, Edgar Allan Poe, W.C. Fields. Damn, I can't name him right now. Williams Burroughs next to Marilyn Monroe. But over on the right, this hot blonde is actually Dinah Dors. Frequently mistaken for Marilyn Monroe. But Marilyn's right there. So
but she doesn't look anything like Marilyn.
No, she really doesn't.
No.
T. Lawrence, A.K. of Arabia, Bob Dylan. Not sure who this dame is.
Which dame?
In the striped hat. It's impossible to
Hard
tell.
to tell.
Possible to tell. Samuel Gompers is actually waving behind them. Why the hell did you use him? You know? And then over here we've got, it's the Beatles. We have the Madame Tussauds dummies from the thing. Some pretty obscure faces on there. Apparently the original cover featured both Gandhi and Hitler, and their label was saying, we're going to have trouble selling this thing in India with Gandhi on it.
The cover proves that Paul is dead.
We're going to have trouble selling this at all with Hitler on there. So they had to go. I remember in 1987, it was the 20th anniversary of the record, and there was a club in Providence. I think it was actually at the Biltmore Hotel. They had a thing, and they were doing a Sgt. Pepper party. And you had to show up as somebody who was on the cover of the record.
Oh, jeez.
And I thought, my friend Steve and I were fans, and I said, we should go to this party, and you show up as Gandhi, and I'll show up as Hitler, and we'll see if we get in. And, that would have been a great gag, although we probably would have been turned away.
And you didn't do it.
Didn't do it. Just like lost
Probably for the
opportunities.
best.
Lost opportunities. They would have asked for ID, and I actually wasn't 21 at the time. So, hell.
Is Casey still here? I guess you weren't there
Casey.
for that.
Check it, yeah.
Oh my god, hilarious.
Now, does this prove that Paul is dead? Well, check the clues. One of the things is if you turn it over, you get a phone number. Call the phone number. What happens?
Yeah. It was fun to look at the wiki list of all the guests in the last scene of the movie.
Oh,
I know, right?
isn't that nuts?
We kept pausing.
Yeah. IMDb points out who the hell is in this thing, and you're looking like, that is,
Yep.
Oh, it's Jack Bruce. Oh, it's, who am I thinking of who was in that?
Carol Channing.
Carol Channing is in this thing.
Reba McEntire.
Reba McEntire is not in
No,
this thing.
I thought, who am I thinking of?
Bonnie Raitt is in this thing. Yeah, I mean, Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie
what the hell
Raitt.
was she
Why-
doing? She
why
was
am I
recording an
confusing
album
those two?
like down the
That's why.
down the
That's
strip
why.
is what she was
okay.
doing.
Carol Channing, Gwen Verdon.
Gwen Verdon is
Yes.
in this thing. I mean, what a rando bunch.
Gwen Verdon.
I mean, Gwen Verdon we just saw not too long ago in that Fosse Verdon thing. Well, the depiction of her anyway. Her
Reba
story.
would have been way too young.
She would have been a little too young at the time.
In hindsight. Yeah.
I recommend Fosse Verdon. That's actually pretty entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. But, what a crazy lineup they had there. They just called everybody. And apparently everybody got like a private suite and whatever to stay at. It's just like they spent
A private tent, I think you
stupid
said.
amount of money to make this one scene singing the theme to the movie. You're like, what the hell are you doing? John Mayall is in this
Well,
thing.
weren't you saying
looking
that-
goofy.
Weren't you saying that the was it this film where the crew members were just like walking by with bags of cocaine?
That's part of the trivia of this movie.
Okay.
Apparently an observation from Robin Gibb, who himself was having a lot of trouble falling asleep without drugs, as in medication.
Right.
So, speaking of drugs, medication, whatever, too much of any of it was going around at the time, and people were making some pretty stupid decisions in Hollywood. Like, this whole movie's a great idea.
I was about to say. Like, let's green light this film.
Let's make this thing work, you know.
I love
Oh,
it. I
what
love
the
it.
hell?
I love it. I also love Can't Stop the Music.
Well,
And
what can I say? I love a good train wreck. We know some good train wrecks from the 30s that you look at and you're like,
oh no,
what were you
we don't need to
thinking?
talk about that.
There's things I can't even discuss on the air because they're just so off color. And that's a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
That's almost 100 years now. And
Yeah.
what was Hollywood thinking? It wasn't.
No.
It wasn't.
No.
And in this case, it was just the excesses of the 70s, and rock music was making a gazillion dollars, and they're like, whatever, pour it into a movie, it'll sell. Well, this one didn't. And you've just got this nuts
paid.
lineup of guests in this thing.
I paid.
Alice Cooper
Night,
appears in
kid.
one scene for no good reason, Good night, Luge. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Good night, ladies.
I was thinking that I wanted to drop you a line to make sure that you did drop in, because I knew that you would enjoy seeing a whole show about the damn Sgt. Pepper movie.
It's no joke drinking out of this snifter.
Oh, it's a real thing.
I think they meant for you to use a straw. But
I think they did,
that's
Yeah,
big.
that's just that's a level of craziness that is really pretty hard to beat. Hey, isn't that Red directing this whole scene?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Kurtwood
Anyway,
Smith.
yes,
I had to restart Staying Alive because
it ended. Because it ended. So from one train wreck to another. The funny thing about watching
Robert Stigwood. What do these films have in common?
yeah,
Robert Stigwood.
Who why was Jack
And the Bee Gees, but really Robert Stigwood.
in the final sequence there? You've got everybody and his brother appearing in this thing. What the hell is Jack Bruce doing there? Well, noted member of the Cream, produced by Robert Stigwood. So it's kind of like he called every one of his clients and buddies and anybody he'd ever had anything to do with.
He died in
put it in.
2016.
Australian born. How about that? Didn't realize. Manager of Cream and the Bee Gees. Well, yes, he was definitely Bee Gees manager,
just
and
say-
actually got them a bunch of hits in the '60s.
Oh, okay. So Mr. Saturday Night, Times Square,
He did Times Square. That's a
Saturday
name.
Night Fever, Tommy.
Produced Tommy,
Tommy, weren't we talking about that earlier?
which again that made money at the time. It was a pretty popular movie.
Oh, Valley of the Dolls. Yes, I love Valley of the Dolls.
You know, you gotta love
I love Valley of the
Valley
Dolls.
of the Dolls.
And
Beyond
the Valley of the Dolls. Yes.
Beyond is not a sequel. It's sort of a parody of the concept of the first picture, but it has
Yes.
nothing to do with it. Although Beyond the Valley is a lot of fun.
But I
A lot of fun.
I love
Valley is
Valley
just.
of the Dolls. It's got Sharon Tate. What's not to like?
It's got Robert Vajaro.
That's
Hello.
true.
It does.
That's
as a matter of
true,
fact.
yeah.
Father of Will, one of our associates, who is a noted author himself. The
Yes.
Vic Valentine series. There's a little shout out for you. If you like your hard boiled fiction, you would enjoy these. You know, they're available. You can get all this stuff up there. Definitely check it out. They're fun. So, yeah, his backstory is just like, give me another double scotch and we'll talk about this. That's just crazy. But his father was actually an actor in Hollywood, did a lot of grindhouse stuff, and was the director on the whole TV set or the film set in Valley of the Dolls.
Yep.
What the hell? Kind of crazy. Which does, in fact, feature a young Sharon Tate. So unfortunate. Patty Duke. Barbara Parkins, not as well remembered these days. She
Sharon
was actually...
Tate never had a chance to not be young. Though.
Never had a chance not to be young.
Yeah.
Although you really got to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then you'll actually...
I love that movie.
You actually will see like a tribute to Hollywood and to her.
Yes.
Particularly to her.
Yes.
That's really like, let's put a better coat on this whole thing. And, you know, with some ultraviolence, well, there's usually ultraviolence. But the, speaking...
Tarantino.
It's Tarantino. We were just speaking
there's
of Beyond the
violence.
Valley, which ends in a bloody scene. And there we go. I tell you, we've
No
gone
spoilers.
one wreck to another wreck.
No spoilers.
But the third member of that trio, third hair color, Barbara Parkins, not as well remembered
Hi, Lisa.
these days. Hey, so good to see you. But at the time, she was starring like I think twice a week on the TV version of Peyton Place. So she was
Oh.
better known than any of these folks. And then like within like 6 months, you had another star of Peyton Place. I think you're down to like some really
It's just bubbles.
icky looking bubbles. Kind of looks like
They're
street juice.
sparkly bubbles.
Looks like a growth. Interesting.
A sparkly growth.
Interesting. So within like no time at all, you had another star of Peyton Place at the time doing a movie debut, and a really big movie debut. And before long, we will be at that time again, won't we? That was Rosemary's Baby.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
at the end of the day, a
speaking
show,
Oh, Lisa.
TV Peyton Place,
thank
not very well
you.
remembered these days. At the time, it actually launched a bunch of careers. I think Ryan O'Neal was in the
Thank
TV
you,
Peyton
Lisa.
Place, as a matter of fact.
So I'm
Yeah.
just going to have some bubbles.
Missed you.
My
Missed you.
sparkly, decadent monstrosity is gone.
It's kind of
So
gone.
I'm just going to give myself a
just
little
get some
bubble.
bubbles.
A little bubbly.
Just a few bubbles, that's all.
Yeah, I'm not going to...
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some bitters, but I'm not going to... not going to adulterate it.
Keep it
further.
easy, keep it straight, keep it
Exactly.
good. No big whoop, keep it cold. That's the thing.
Ugh. I don't think it's going to... Yeah. You know what?
No.
I'm not even going to bother.
It's not doing any good anyway. Just
right.
keep it in the ice, you're done.
What happened to the
Ango is right there.
Angostura?
Hello.
Here they are.
The Ango stirrer.
Oh, okay, Lisa. We had Get Back Strawberry Fields, which was a rum strawberry confection.
Mm-hmm. A really good, really nice rum sour.
And then-
extremely strong strawberry flavor.
And then we
which is
had
very
a
nice.
Strawberry
natural flavor.
Fields mocktail.
Mm-hmm. Which was like a big
And then
shake.
Paul made a disgusting train wreck of a drink, which will be buried at drain.
It'll be lost at sea.
And,
Never to be found again. No one will find
And
the
then he
recipe
made a
ever
Singapore
again.
slang.
Yeah, which I killed.
And
so
I
had
think
to
you're
get some
caught
bubbles in
up.
there.
We had
That's
that.
about it.
I had
Yeah.
that little blue thingy, which was a French 75 variation. I'm calling BD's Decadent Brew.
Pretty fun. The thing inside the snifter. Yeah.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot of bubbles in a huge glass. That's what they were drinking in the movie. We had to emulate it.
Exactly.
That's it. The thing I made was called the Almaguzlum. It's a crazy, stupid name for a crazy, stupid drink to pay tribute to a crazy, stupid movie. And I gotta say, you look at this thing, you're like, what were you thinking? But by the same token, there's millions of dollars poured into this thing. So it looks good. It sounds great. It was like apparently done up in like 70 millimeter 6-track stereo. It does sound really good.
Is it salty?
It should have.
No, you mean the disgusting one? No,
No.
it had chartreuse,
Yeah.
which for me kills any drink. Like, I don't care if you have one drop.
I don't know what
Nope.
the hell it is with that stuff, but it
Nope.
just, I don't
Hate.
get why
Hate.
did we get a bad batch? Because it is so one note and I don't like that note.
No, I don't think we got a bad batch.
No.
I think it's just, I just don't like it.
I don't like that stuff because I would drink not dissimilar product over here, also extremely herbal sweet liqueur
I'm all right with Benedictine.
made by monks,
Yeah,
also like chartreuse,
made by monks.
made by monks, Benedictine monks.
But isn't
Hello.
chartreuse made by monks?
Yes, the Carthusian monks. There you go. But this stuff I
Right,
will have.
Peter?
I will have and stuff, and it's got some interesting flavors. I finally identified that one of the flavors is menthol. I'm like, really? Wow,
Which
that should
you would-
really kick it wrong.
You would think I would hate it.
You would
but
kick that right
yeah, no,
wrong.
I'm
because
I'm
you
fine
you
with
start
it.
to think like Fernet, but no, actually this stuff works.
Oh,
That's why I made a sling.
see, Bill, I would probably like that. It look like murky green seawater. I would probably
Well-
add some lemon to it,
Well, yeah.
but yeah, that I'm kind of okay with that. part
Anytime
of
you're
it.
talking a liqueur, a juice, and a base of rum, even if it's like really, really like clear rum, so it's just not adding any sweetness in particular, you've got to add a little sour to balance that
menthol.
out.
Some of these
Yeah.
really herbal liqueurs do have that note.
Yeah, this definitely has menthol in it because
Like,
I
I feel like
never
Fernet-
noticed it until recently, and I'm like, oh
Fernet
yeah,
does, yeah.
Fernet is heavy. Fernet is
Yeah.
a heavy menthol kick.
Yeah.
That's why it's so divisive. People were like, oh, I hate that stuff because it tastes like cough syrup.
Right, like
Well,
like a drop.
I mean,
I'm okay
essentially,
with
it
that.
is
Yeah,
cough syrup.
Yeah.
It's like 15th
But
century
even,
cough syrup. you
even
know?
a drop of chartreuse, I'm like, nope. Because he was trying to fix it. He was trying to make it better. He was trying all these things. I'm like, nope, 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 nope.
If
nope.
I really
Nope.
cranked up the Campari that I tossed in it, it completely buried the
I feel like
the liqueur.
I feel like it was bringing it out.
That was the second take. But
It was awful.
the simple fact is, if you're burying a flavor, why did you have it there in the first place? So if I did this again, I'm just canning the chartreuse and saying, forget it.
For me,
Not happening.
I would just not have
The drink itself...
chartreuse in any drink ever.
The drink itself is actually fairly terrible, but the proportions are not insane as long as you respect the things that go into it. And I think I would just try a different herbal. Maybe I would try an Amaro and see what happens. I'd say if I threw Chinar in there, it'd be a better drink.
No.
Yeah, it
No.
would. No, well, get rid of the chartreuse. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, get rid of the chartreuse.
I'm saying,
Yeah, okay,
get
yeah,
rid of the
get rid of the
chartreuse.
chartreuse.
Yeah,
But
yeah. You're not going to improve it with the
Yeah.
chartreuse. Not going to happen.
no.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, you could pour in a gallon of something else. But nope.
It's going to be tough.
Oh,
It's going to be tough.
I'm still
And
getting
it's-
it's like the Princess and the Pea. I'm still getting it.
It's like any drink that we make that involves the Fernet had better have about a quarter of an ounce,
Oh.
because any more it's just going to completely motor over what you're doing.
All right, Lisa, try this one on for size.
Mm-hmm.
2 ounces of amber rum, ½ ounce strawberry, either liqueur or syrup,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you've got. You could substitute another fruit, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I used a 1/4 ounce of peach liqueur, 3/4 of an ounce fresh lemon juice, 3 dashes Mexican chocolate bitters,
Mm-hmm.
and a dash of ginger bitters.
Really good.
If you don't have those ingredients, riff.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Use
But
what you
that's
got.
one I called Get Back Strawberry Fields.
That was fun. That's a lot of fun.
Oh.
If you happen to have all those ingredients, wow, I'm amazed because that's a pretty random bunch of stuff that we've got here. But you
Exactly.
might come close and you might just say, well, I've got what I got. You cannot go wrong with a couple ounces, 1.5 to 2 ounces of your base, whatever you like in there, whether it's gin, whether it's rum, right? If you're making something like the way we make them, we make sours, 1/2 ounce of your liqueur, 1/2 ounce of your lime juice or lemon juice, some bitters, get it cold, put it in the glass, and you'll be happy. If you want to lighten it up a bit,
Oh, chocolate bitter, yeah.
add a good healthy dash of seltzer, and there you go. If you want
If
to
you
lighten
can
up
get
with bubbles,
if you can
there
get
you
the
go.
Hella Mexican chocolate, I highly recommend. But there are other brands too. You can get the Fee Brothers.
Yep.
does an Aztec chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
There's also,
Very
what is
good.
it? Bitter Truth
Bitter
does
Truth
one
makes it
too.
chocolate these
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Yeah, they're like very like dark
Whatever.
chocolate bitter flavor. It's really, really quite good. And you can also infuse some cacao nibs in rum and make chocolate rum. Wow, that's pretty good.
Is there a menthol liqueur? You can make a drink called Cool inspired by the cigarettes. You could probably do that with Fernet.
You know, the thing
I'm
about
thinking.
Cools was that they adulterated the cigarette so that it wouldn't be so harsh going down, which inspires people to actually breathe more deeply, which is a really bad idea with tobacco. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like in the 50s when filter cigarettes come in, and I believe it's Merit or something like that,
Oh,
or is it or is it Parliament? Parliament actually had filters that were made out of asbestos. That was a good idea. Breathe deep. Breathe deep. Yeah, well, they're not
Oh
doing
my
that
God.
anymore. Let's just say that.
we watched that show on, was it Hulu?
Yeah.
That was the documentary about like booze, cigarettes, and gambling,
Yeah.
and
Contraception.
contraception.
contraception was the
But
thing.
yeah, but I specifically remember the cigarettes and yeah.
The cigarettes were innovated by American Tobacco at the time when
Hi, John.
tobacco was normally consumed in pipes and in cigars, and cigarettes were seen as just like a real secondary product at best. But AT noticed that like a lot of people were just not able to you can't, you're on a lunch break, you're not taking down a cigar. You're not taking out a good stick. It's going to take a while. They needed something that people could smoke fast.
The menthol increase in nicotine passage
They started
into the bloodstream.
They started producing cigarettes.
So
And
did
they started
the
selling a million.
asbestos filter impede that?
The asbestos, you know, the real issue with that is that it's flaky, and you might have just been inhaling particles into your lungs, which is exactly what
no.
causes the problem. Anybody who was working in an asbestos plant at the time probably developed, there's an exact cancer that it is that triggered.
Why are we talking about this?
We talked about cigarettes, which are going to kill you anyway.
I know.
Yeah, seriously. I'm trying to remember. There's a specific cancer that actually causes that I believe. Took out.
Mesothelioma.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, it's taking out some notable.
Or,
people.
as the commercial used to say, the local commercial for the law firm, mesothelioma.
Measles.
It's like it has nothing to do with measles.
No
you
measles.
guys. All right.
No measles.
Mesothelioma, not measles. But it was his local law firm that was like, you know, if you were exposed to asbestos. And you developed mesothelioma, it's like meso.
Meso. Anyway, miso as in soup. No, mesophilia. Oh, excellent.
Cigarette free for 9 years. Good for you, Lisa.
There you go. We know many people who have smoked and many people who still smoke, and end of the day, like the cigarettes are not going to do you any good. So
No.
I will proselytize against them. There are people who have tried them. There are people who just just mainlining them. I'm like, you can get your stimulation via other means. I'm having some Prosecco myself right now.
Well, I feel like since
not
it's
much though.
legal in New York now, I feel like I follow way more people on the street smoking dope than smoking actual nicotine cigarettes.
Correct.
New York City is just under a cloud of dope now. But it used to be cigarette smoke, so
it used to be heavy,
yeah.
heavy. People, then vaping came in, and I was all vaping, and people are just like huge clouds of vapor, as if that's healthier for you. That is a level of crazy.
Oh, Lisa, do you have your drink?
Mm.
I can't believe you're adding ice.
Boom.
I would say we could do an Aperol spritz, but we gotta buy Aperol.
Got about the Aperol. That's a
Although
very
it's
good thing
spring.
to do. Very good thing to do.
Spring is, well, is it? Yes, it's spring. We have the equinox.
Yes. Also the calendrical.
Yes.
Now, does it feel like spring out there?
I feel
Today
like-
it does.
I feel like spring is Aperol spritz
It
season.
really is. It's a great way to go.
Yeah.
Definitely saying that. Oh, throw some lime bitters in. That's a good idea.
Do it.
Sure.
Yeah, pour away from the computer.
Pour away from
Oh, okay, good. Cheers, Lisa. Yay.
Don't mind if we do. Yes. Excellent. Glad you were able to follow along.
I know.
We
I'm
use
glad
some-
we saw you and John.
We use some pretty esoteric
Yay, I'm
ingredients.
glad you guys showed
and
up.
if I start quoting what the hell I'm doing, you might not have everything. Sometimes we
That's
will
true.
throw down the list ahead of time so that you can pick things up. If I do something with 20 ingredients, I don't expect you to have this all. That crazy thing I made at the head of the show involves things that are actually rather
trying to
expensive
think.
that we happen to have, and I do not actually recommend you buy them to make that drink because the drink is no good. We do it so you don't have to. Saving you.
Oh yeah,
Big
Aperol
bucks.
Spritz is so good.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's such an easy damn thing.
I remember a lovely lost day. I forget why we were in the village, but we must have had a dentist appointment because why else would we have been in the village? But
We're paired to one of those Italian cafes
yes,
down there.
we
Circuit
dropped
Greenwich
into-
Village West.
and I remember it
yes.
was like I think it started to rain. We're like duck into this cafe,
Screw that.
and they had some
Cafe.
crazy low price on Aperol spritzes.
And
I
we
think
were.
many Aperol spritzes were consumed that day. It was great.
Pretty good time. That's kind of like the time on the golf course in Palm Springs where there was the, sort of the bottomless Prosecco. We're like, oh, bring it on.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. That's
It's
kind of a
just
good place
funny
to be.
though, like all these places that are like bottomless champagne brunch. Are like, oh, you haven't met us, have you?
Don't start with those. We did the AIDS walk for several years in Central Park, and at one point, if you raised over $1,000, you got into the winner's circle. And
Star Walker.
the Star Walkers had originally had a tent with like special food and everything, and then eventually they were doing it in the boathouse, and that was like really swank. And then there were like bottles of bubbles, and we're like, refills, please. And they were a little surprised.
It's like
that
9 in the morning. We're like, I'll have another.
They were a little surprised that we were going for refills. I'm like, I'm about to walk like 6K or no 10K.
I'm about to walk 10K.
Come on.
Fill me up, Buttercup.
I need some inspiration, guys. So we would definitely do that, and like people are a little.
Oh,
are
hi,
you sure?
Joe.
But of course, yeah. but
Joe's
definitely.
here. All right. Good to see you. Oh, Joe has a soundtrack for Sgt. Pepper's.
We assume you have that on LP, not on 8-track tape. Yes.
We thought we did, but
We thought we
apparently
did.
Paul's sister has it.
But instead, what we have is behind Kelly here, the cover version of the Sgt. Pepper soundtrack by Abbey Road 78 on Springboard Records.
Abbey Road 78.
What the hell is
I
Abbey
love
Road 78?
that.
I really want to know who is singing for Abbey Road 78 because they're pretty good. And I'm like, is this just some sort of studio people slumming? Because it's not bad.
It's like, yeah, it is. We listened to it earlier. It is actually
It's
pretty
not half good, but it's
so,
not half
yeah.
bad. So,
You're seeing the village, then please drink. Oh, you drink, eat, shop, sleep, and repeat. I know.
in the village. Well,
We're going to be spending the weekend in the city in a couple of weeks. I guess 3 weeks.
about 3. That's correct.
No, is
2?
it? I gotta
2.5.
bring Google Calendar. Hold on.
Gotta check out the calendar, see what is happening.
Uh,
People.
It's probably closer than I think.
Yeah. Hey, is Desiree here? I talked to you on
Yeah, no,
Monday.
it's in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We're going to be spending the weekend in New York City in like 2 weeks because we're seeing Depeche Mode. Yeah, like literally 2 weeks and a day. Oh, well, that's coming up quicker than I thought.
Pretty soon. And guess what? In order to get psyched, bought the new album. On album.
It's on album.
It's all about mortality
It's on clear vinyl.
and death and how we will all lose it. Wow, these guys got a lot more dire than they used to be, which is hilarious. I mean, here we are with like the skull on the table. This costs a lot of damn money, but I say it's totally worth it.
Satellite, yeah. Well,
I love these guys.
we are
That's the
lucky
thing.
to have proximity to New York City for sure. Yeah,
It doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt for certain things.
yeah. For
But-
certain things, I think we're lucky.
Yeah, no, we are.
I do think that.
It takes me a good, well, at current, door to door to get to the office is 2 hours and 45. That's a pretty long trip. I do it 2 days a week.
But if you were driving, it
by
would
requirement?
be less.
Yeah, if I just drove in, I would get there in.
It takes me the same amount of time when I go in with you.
It is. But I'm just thinking, like,
Oh, Lisa, go for it.
You drive, you crank yourself over the GW. Like, how are you going to get to, if you get to Midtown, how long is it going to take?
Well, assuming traffic's moving. I don't know, maybe 75 minutes.
I was about to say 80, so there we go.
All right, we'll split
But
the difference.
there's no way you're going
77 and a half.
No way you're going to go to the GW bridge in less than about an hour, so that's just going to add time. If you did this
Yeah.
really early, like about 4 a.m., smooth sailing. No question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've done that too.
My neighbor does this. He's always like going to the Bronx to
I
go work for the
know.
MTA.
Our neighbor works in the city and
Yeah.
he works like really off hours.
Crazy.
So, like,
Crazy ass hours.
I think he never has any traffic. But
He's slick, and he's just like, he's got a straight shot there and back.
yeah,
again.
yeah.
It's really pretty
Yeah,
easy
when you
for
get
him.
off work at 4 a.m.,
You know?
the traffic's a lot less, I guess.
And if you're coming like reverse commute at that point in time, like he probably does okay. So it's a crazy schedule, but he's making it work. Good man. So
I remember a film shoot I was on a couple of years ago that ended at 3 in the morning. And I remember the car was parked in Jersey City.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember, like, I got home at 6 a.m. And I just remember, like, I made it most of the way just fine. And then by the end, I'm like, I'm falling asleep. I was, like, slapping myself to stay awake because, yeah,
Man.
it was crazy.
the darkness will definitely just take you out.
Yeah, except it was light because the sun was coming
At that point, it
up,
was light.
so-
I find that in most recent years, after hours, if I'm really amped up, I'm good. I'm totally fine. But if I'm just having an average day and I get out in the darkness, it's just like, go to
I
sleep.
feel like
It's
if
a
you're
really bad idea.
amped up, you're good until like something crashes inside of you, and it's just like, oh, I need to
when the
pull over and
switch-
take a nap right now.
When the switch goes off, it goes
Yeah,
off.
yep.
And if you are ever out there and doing that, the advice is you've got to get off the highway.
Oh yeah,
No
yeah.
question.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've done it. I get off the highway.
How do we get on this subject?
We're talking about Depeche Mode and their morbid
Hmm.
new record. Memento Mori. You know? Remember, you will die as well.
Remember, you will die.
Dylan, please, you know? We're suspecting that in live concert at Madison Square Garden, they will play some of their back catalog slightly less morbid.
Slightly less morbid.
Oh, man, you know, I gotta say, I like these guys, and they're gonna do that. But they have to play a lot of stuff from the new record.
Oh, that's so interesting. On Thanksgiving morning, I made it to the parade from Piscataway, New Jersey in about 30 minutes. Okay.
No way!
That's okay. I would have guessed the opposite.
Oh,
I
that's
would
so
have
kinda
guessed you
crazy.
waited in traffic forever. So that's
Forever.
okay. All
So
right.
that's
You
kinda
never know. You really never know.
I have caught crazy traffic patterns from Manhattan in the past, and this is going back a good solid 22 years anyway, that got me out of Manhattan at rush hour in something like 25 minutes. And at the end of that journey, I turned to my companion and say, how the hell did we just do that? And we just kind of hit it right. It was
never
stupid. I
know.
met him midtown. We hop in a car out of a garage and we just go up 95. And I was like, well, that was easy. I'm like, well, that's not going to be repeated.
Like that's never happened before, and
Never
it's never going to happen again.
happening
Yep.
Again. So I don't know sometimes. There are times when we've had fantastic smooth sailing from where we're going to where we're coming from. Let me do that again. And at the end of the day, I cannot explain how that happened. Because every other time, it's terrible, terrible, terrible. We drive a fair amount within New Jersey, and I got to tell you, those highways will just drive you insane.
Although on
Albeit.
Sunday the stores are closed in Paramus.
So it helps when you're trying to get down 17.
That's true. Oh,
One is just saying. So, anyway,
what was that? Oh,
I tripped this thing up.
things are sticky.
Yeah, things are
Got
sticky is
it.
what that
Got
was.
it. Stickiness.
We're at that point in the evening. So we've had some crazy ass stupid drinks.
Is it that time in the evening?
It probably is.
All right.
Based on this crazy ass stupid movie. Many of you saw it at the time and said, I saw your movie. What happened?
I enjoyed it.
Many of
Oh,
us,
we got to do a Tootsie week. Any Tootsie fans? Because I feel like we got to do Can't Stop the Music, and we have to do Tootsie.
Can't Stop is even more of a train wreck than Sgt. Pepper. Because
Tootsie's not a train wreck. I just love it.
Tootsie, no, Chocolate Can't Stop.
No, I know, but I'm writing
Tootsie
these
itself
down.
is in fact not a train wreck. It's a classic American picture. It's one of the greatest theater movies ever made, even though it's
Yeah.
essentially about television. But hey, television, certainly then and now, is populated by a lot of theater people. And it deals with a lot of like living in New York and dealing with stuff and dealing with agents and dealing with the scene and people and blah, blah, blah. And it's just, it's a great script. And frankly, a lot of the dialogue, I think, was a bit of improv, which got better than the script. So.
Living in my Jersey home, it was a traffic no. Oh, Lisa, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you'd want to expect. Oh, Brooklyn to New Jersey. Oh my gosh. What route did you take? Did you take the Gothels?
Just asking.
What did you just
that?
New York talk. Did you take
Yeah,
the Gothels?
that could be nightmarish, but I'm not going to say that the.
I'm not sure if you can do Tootsie in Florida anymore.
I'm not going to say that the Lincoln Tunnel is any walk in the park any day of the
Bill.
week.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just going to get you Midtown, which is also a no-no. There's no really great way
we'll do
to.
Tootsie and you can watch it.
There's no really great way to like scoot in around the eastern part of Brooklyn and swing your way back. No, that does not work. You would have to take a boat. Amphibie car might get you there, but otherwise it's one nightmare tunnel or bridge after another.
Oh yeah.
Take your pick. Wow, who dealt this mess anyway?
This conversation turned dark.
We're talking about train wrecks, New York,
Of New York
highways.
traffic.
And traffic and tunnels and bridges are who the hell dealt this mess anyway. So,
Oh,
and
to Canal Street. Oh
Canal
yeah,
Street.
so was
Oh,
that
oh,
the Holland
Holland.
Tunnel?
Holland
Yeah,
Tunnel.
Holland Tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not a bad tunnel at about 2 a.m, you know. But,
Other times of the day, not
but
so much.
at like
but
5 p.m., get out. Just get out. Seriously.
I remember waiting in traffic for the Holland Tunnel.
I've done it a number of times in my life.
Hi, Dean.
Hey, Dean.
I said Florida because Bill over on Facebook said Florida.
You're just having a little fun there.
But yes, I did. I went there.
And as a matter of fact, we heard
was reading aloud.
another reference. I heard another reference to that today about Tootsie in Florida because I'm like,
About
yeah,
Tootsie?
no, about Florida.
Oh, you said about Tootsie in Florida.
Well, Bill's talking about can you show Tootsie in Florida? Like I had a companion at work talking about not really being able to do that anymore. I'm like, oh yeah, he was making a joke.
Oh,
Because of,
yeah,
like,
right.
what's
I
going
know,
on
yeah,
down
I know
there?
what you're talking about, yeah.
And you just want to fly in like 1,000 drag queens to Florida right now and just like hit it. That's it. Inundate the damn state.
I'll go.
They've already like
Not a drag
they've
queen,
already
but
tried
I'll
their
go.
best to ban Disney. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. But you know, a lot of these things are going to come down pretty hard on people when things come down. So you make your decisions. You have to stand by them. I'm just reporting. That's all. I make no comment whatsoever about the way people believe. We were talking about train wrecks. I think we're talking about one. Have fun with that, folks.
I love me a drag queen.
Yep.
Not going to lie.
But that's about it. It's been excellent seeing you here tonight. You might have noticed our little logo in the top of the screen there. This one made that happen. Hello.
I know.
Isn't that fun? Hello.
I hope I can do it again next week. I can. I'm kidding.
Of course you can. Of course you can. More things will happen. More fun little things
Spent
will
a lot of time in
pop
Holland
around.
Tunnel escape route to Jersey in the summer. Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh, Lisa.
Free beaches. Yep. But definitely.
Holland, you got to Florida Dragon Drop.
I didn't say that. But if the audience wants to chime in, they are absolutely free to do so.
Love it.
I make no restrictions here, folks. Hello. That's the fun part. You make your bed, you get to lie in it. I'm not talking about anybody watching here. I'm talking about other people out there who are making their bed and not wanting to lie in it. So the fun part is we're talking about train wrecks, and that is another one. The Sgt. Pepper movie was some kind of good grief what happened here at the time. But in retrospect, it doesn't come off so badly, particularly by comparison to some of its contemporaries. Have you ever seen The Apple?
Oh, Eric.
Wow, that film was crazy stupid.
I
So,
know. I
anyway.
got to find it. We have it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out there
Even
somewhere.
with the mistakes.
Oh,
Alma
shucks.
Guzlam was the mistake.
It's not a good drink.
Oh, Lisa, I'm glad you made it.
It's not a good drink. And I tried that 5 different ways, and I cannot make it better. So I'm going to take the base, cut out the offensive ingredient, and see what the hell I can do with it. And it'll probably be better, if not great. We'll see what we can do.
I'm still not sure about Geneva and Jamaican rum. I feel like that's kind of the drink that you make when that's all you have.
It really kind of does sound like Caddyshack.
What do we have on hand?
What's on the top of the bar there? And Spalding Smales is coming up with the dregs drink, and it's horrible.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's vomiting in the bushes. So this did not make me do that, but I would say, kids,
Well, the night's still young.
kids don't do this at home. So
Anyway, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. I'm thinking either Tootsie or Can't Stop the Music.
we've got
If
two
you
different...
feel strongly about either one, drop us a line.
You want to talk sort of classic American cinema versus what the hell happened? That's what we're talking about. That is Tootsie versus Can't Stop the Music. Can't Stop the Music was a famous bomb.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
It's like the film that killed disco. But it was a little
I feel like there's so many candidates for
Oh.
disco death. But
a little too much, too little, too late, and it didn't work. And at the end of the day, you cannot run a cocaine party forever. So there you go.
anyway,
On that note, I just described Sergeant Pepper's
thank
the
you
movie.
for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. If you haven't seen the movie, see it. It's fun. It's kind of ridiculous.
If you have a
it's
preference
fun.
of Can't Stop the Music to Tootsie, please let us know.
Please.
We'll do one next week and one the week after,
Hey,
I guess.
we'll do everything.
So,
It's okay.
all right. Thank you so much for joining us. And have a wonderful evening. Oh, thank God it's Friday. We have that
Oh,
soundtrack,
TGF,
actually.
we do.
Yeah.
We've seen the movie. It's a different kind of a train wreck, but it's a train wreck, no question. The soundtrack used to be pretty common, probably not that easily found these days. 3-album set. Good grief. Trying like hell to be the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, not succeeding, but it's okay. It's okay.
We'll have to pull it down and give it a spin.
These album packages that are just hideously elaborate. I'm like, how much did that cost at the time? Well, they were trying for $1 million seller, and they
lot of
got
money.
1,000 seller. We've enjoyed seeing everybody here. Obviously, you know how to support us. Some of you already do. Thank you absolutely to our patrons, our Patreon patrons who have been watching, some of us tonight.
And thank you for being here.
Anybody
all
who's
of
watching on
you.
the rebroadcast,
Yes.
again, thank you again for sitting through, at this point, a couple hours worth of broadcast.
know.
On a rebroadcast, that's a big step when you can't actually like do live comments. We also have the Amazon store, and we have some product available. If you're interested in the Ceviche
Hi,
album,
Zach.
by-
Have you ever made a rusty steamer?
no, what's in
not.
it? If
I'm
you're-
gonna look into it.
If you're interested in
Look
the
into
Ceviche album from the Clams, we can always drop that on you.
Thank you,
in the
John.
Post comments, and you can go pick up your copy. A few friends have actually picked it up on the strength of the cover alone. Hello, featuring this one.
Oh.
And I gotta say, you're not gonna be disappointed with the music. And the cover
No.
is big and awesome, and you'll love it. So you just put it on display, slap the CD in your player, and you'll be
I'm
happy.
gonna look into rusty
be happy.
steamer. Thank you, John. Yeah, okay. All right. Good night, everyone. We love
Please.
you.
All right, gotta go to bed.
All right.
Everybody here, always, you recall, what you've seen here tonight should not be viewed by human hands. No, what you've seen here tonight, you can get tomorrow if you're a patron. You'll get all these recipes to you, right to your mailbox, along with some bonus content. Patrons also get other bonus content, by the way. And the rest of you, no matter where you go, and no matter what you do, always remember that we will see you soon.
Good night.